You know what time it is?
Perhaps.
Well, what time is it?
Time for me to figure out how to drink with this damn mask on.
That's a good way to get a purge started, man. You got to take a shot. You got to take a couple of sips of something you like so you can relax yourself here.
Yeah, I got a purge.
You got to get it up out of you. You know, you got to get it up out of you. If you keep it in you, then it turns into shit. You know.
Yeah, there's that. Watch your mouth, man.
Oh, that's right. Dos minutos el no profanitarios.
Yeah,
Correcto?
no cursing.
Okay. All right. I was trying to practice my Spanish.
Yeah.
For, I don't know. I don't know.
That's
I
your
was trying to
Spanish?
that's my Spanish. They speak different, you know? They speak
Okay.
different. So if we gotta wait 2 minutes for that, what would we talk about for 2 minutes that would not allow me to get so excited about it that I might possibly use something that could be considered profane?
Well, let's talk about where you've been for the last 3 years. I'm taking this mask off. I can't breathe. I'm not good at purging.
It's the first one. It's the first one. You
It
gotta.
is. It is.
It's the first one. I didn't know that
Our,
mine.
our
I couldn't
purge
breathe
lasted
either.
all of 30 seconds.
Yeah, that was. We purged the mask.
Really
We
bum rushed the show in
we
30 seconds.
really purged the whole mask
I
situation.
burned a whole neighborhood down.
Yeah, but the purge situation, of course, they didn't tell us that the masks were going to be uncomfortable. So
They didn't.
yeah, so
No one said that in the brochure.
no, not at all. I don't even see it. It wasn't in the Google ratings.
I
It
feel the
wasn't. It
same way,
wasn't
and
in the Google
but I
ratings.
always thought that it was supposed to be comfortable. A nice, good purge.
Yeah, good purge deserves a comfortable mask. You gotta be comfortable with your purgenics, you know. So, so this is the
So where you been? 3 years. Where you been?
3 years, man. It's been a minute since I've been doing any lives because I just honestly been watching the bullshit. And at this point, I hope that was 2 minutes. Was that 2 minutes?
I think. Yep, you're at 2 minutes in.
Yeah. All
But
right.
don't try to curse as much as you can.
Okay. I will curse as much as I need to. Is that acceptable? That's acceptable, right? That shouldn't violate any community guidelines.
Right.
So for the last number of years, I've been literally just trying to find ways to get and give information without filters. And I haven't been able to do so. So because of it, I've just been silent. I haven't, it's kind of like if you want to say something to somebody and there's really no way to say it, then you're just like, well, I'm not going to say anything to anybody then.
Right.
You know?
And what does that do for you?
Well, it hasn't done much. It's created a pile of just unsatisfactory situations that I've been, part of when it comes to the legal system, when it comes to like doing business with folks. It's just you start to realize that you can't take everybody else's shit. You gotta bounce some of it back because that's what the purge is. Because a lot of us we're out here just trying to be nice. I hate to say it, but we're out here trying to be nice. I'm 6'5". I'm 245 pounds. I work out a little bit, so when I come into an area of space, I'm automatically somebody's threat. Maybe not everybody's, but if you put enough people around, somebody's going to be like, look at that one. And they immediately think that there's something wrong. So I have to operate in this space where I have to always try to be like, look, I'm not a threat. I'm just here to pick up my food, like that kind of stuff.
Right.
And it's the same with like police officers and stuff. You can't even, you can't move in certain ways when you're certain size, like everything's a threat. So you have to almost be just capped in. And if you cap in something for long enough, it starts to kind of bubble up and
fester.
And that's what a slow burn is. So a lot of times when the slow
like a boil.
Right. But when it gets there, it's
like a pus-filled boil.
Well, we don't want to talk about
flaring up like a pack of hemorrhoids.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Ready to strike. ready to strike your ass because
Right.
that's what this is. That's what this feels like after a while. It feels like
Striking ass.
just a strike in the ass that you can't soothe. You can't soothe it. You gotta just deal with it. And so that's what's been going on for the last couple of years. I've been literally just watching capped information,
Right.
narrative information get messed up. It's like the thing with Trump the other day. One minute we were talking about documents, and now we're talking about a porn star that we knew somebody paid for. It's like, who cares? Who cares, yo? Like, really, do you care?
Somebody
I don't care,
cares.
but who cares? Because
Well, I think there's a huge part of the country that cares.
why?
Well, because there's a standard.
Of what?
Now,
She's a porn star.
I'm going to explain.
Please.
All right. So think about this, and people know I'm not a fan of presidents. Period.
Unless they
But look
dead
at the
presidents on paper.
standard. Look at the standard. So, for example, with Donald Trump, remember when he had that issue with Obama, and it started
Right.
at that one dinner when he was talking about that birth certificate.
Right.
So you're throwing stones at a president about a birth certificate. Well, if that's what your issue is, fine. Meanwhile, you got hush money on a hoe. You see what I'm saying? So, and not only that, you got, all these presidents had to go to Harvard and all these, crazy schools and stuff. There's certain standards that you have to live by to be the leader of the free world.
True.
I cannot be president. I mean, maybe I have the decision making ability, and I have military history. I'm a vet.
Right.
But some of the stuff I got into as a young dude, I couldn't be no damn president. It would come out of the woodworks. You know what I'm saying?
I know this, man.
Yeah.
I ain't even gonna tell you. I definitely know there's some things I'm not allowed to do.
Right. Just like that football coach that got caught with the pictures, where he was at a hate rally when in high school.
Mm.
Stuff like that can come out of the woodwork. So when you are president, you're supposed to be held to the highest standard.
But what
not
is the
some
highest
hush money
standard?
from no porn star.
But first of all, man, I respect what you're saying. Let's start with that. I respect what you're saying.
Mhm.
But here's where my issue is. He was Donald Trump before he was the president.
So was everybody else.
No, everybody wasn't Donald Trump. Everybody
not Donald Trump.
was who they were. And he lived in a world, so to speak, where things were a little bit different. So for him to have a past with a couple of porn stars, he might not have been expecting to be president. You know what I'm saying? Like, it might not have been a thing when he was
So
doing
you're
all
saying that presidents are groomed from what, high school and college on up?
A lot of them are.
Right. So imagine all of the presidents that were groomed from that to have to deal with some joker talking about their birth certificate, and now he got hush money from Stormy Daniels.
I mean, it's a reason to be mad, but it's not a reason to be surprised, if that makes sense.
I agree with you 100%.
Right. They acting like,
Yeah, like if Kanye West became president,
right?
Like, we know what he was doing with Amber Rose and the Kardashians. We know.
Right. Come on, man. Exactly.
However, it's not excusable when it comes to setting the standard. Now, if you want to alter the standard, then yes, I get it.
Well, I see what you're saying, but they alter the standard all the time. Like, what was acceptable online before, or what you could say on TV before that wasn't acceptable, they alter standards all the time.
They do.
So why with this guy they got to do all that?
Well, because when he was, and look, again, I'm not a fan of presidents. I'm not a fan of anybody that's a politician, honestly, because you have to be the most conceited asshole on the planet to want to do that. Even all the way back to high school president, to get up there with a sign and say, I'm the best person here. You got to be pretty into yourself. But the way he heckled the last president, constantly went at him. And then when he got in office, everything was, that's fake news, fake news, fake news. You see what I'm saying? Like,
but that's the game, though.
You can't handle it.
But he could handle it. He played the same game they was playing before he was there. He just played it without.
Who was heckling all of the presidents like that?
Maybe not like that, but all the presidents get heckled. Hell, George Bush had to duck shoes and shit. You know what I'm saying?
But that's not by a presidential candidate or someone planning to be president. That's by some idiot in the damn rafters.
I
Like,
can
what if
see
you
where
was
you,
go?
I
It's
can
almost
see
like
where
he
you can
turned it
come
into
up
a
with that.
rap battle. Like, what if you was like if you were president and I was about to and I'm going up to be president and I'm like, yo, you trash, yo. You know, and I just come out of the woodwork talking about something that doesn't really matter,
Well,
but
like I said,
heckling you
but that's what
at your ball. You would fight. Sekou, you're 6'5" and menacing.
right.
You would
Yeah,
go ahead.
but you know, that's a different group of people. They operate it with different rules. They can
Trump
sue
turned the
each other.
White House into a battleground for rap. Like, I mean, that's he altered the standard. And then when he went to become president,
Right.
look at the face of his rallies.
Well, what
I'm not
face
going
are
to
we
get too
talking
into
about?
that,
That's
but
not his fault though,
it's
per
not his
se.
fault.
That's
But
not his fault.
it's the standard that he allowed to take place. So for example, let's say this. Let's say a black man was running for president, right?
Right.
And he had all of his rallies down there in Stone Mountain in Georgia in front of the Not Fucking Around clique, the NFAC. You know, the guys with the guns?
Right.
Now, he could have
Okay.
come in peace because they're actually a peaceful group of people. But if somebody popped off down there, then all of a sudden, why he got to have his movement here? You see what I'm saying? Like, why
Right.
why are they allowing people to say the things that they're saying? And I don't believe Trump is racist at all, to be totally honest with you. I think he cares about green. You know?
Exactly. Which is what he's always cared about. So that shouldn't
Exactly.
be a surprise to anybody.
Exactly.
He's
Because
been
he's been
a
in bed with
businessman.
Oprah and all them for years.
Yeah, man. They need to stop. They need to stop. That's why I was very disappointed with what they keep doing. It's like, look, nobody else don't get arrested when they be talking all that about them. Like if they put up a brother on the news, they say, look, we're looking for this guy because he did XYZ. When they find him, he go to jail.
Right.
Right?
Do you pay your taxes?
Yeah.
Do you think it's unfair if others don't?
Nah, I'm trying to figure out the game, player. Like
trying to figure out how to do it like they
know
do.
how to do it like they
And
do.
so see, that's my thoughts on it too. See, I do think he does pay taxes. I think he pays a small amount, but the witch hunt, from what I've heard, and this is alleged, is that they're trying to figure out what's going on with his taxes.
Because he play the game better than they do.
Too good.
He's too good at it. This is what I'm saying. He filed bankruptcy. He did all types of stuff. They just keep throwing stuff at him. I'm like, look,
Right.
I know plenty of people that have done things wrong. They don't get to be all on the news and all that, and everybody saying he did stuff wrong, and then nothing happens. It's the same thing with the last thing. It's like they talk all this stuff, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh yeah, it's on to the next thing." He's supposed to get arrested today. He didn't get arrested today, and I call bullshit from day one.
If you get arrested as the we call it the ex-president or whatever,
right,
or the former president, is Secret Service supposed to go in there with you?
I don't know.
Because that's the only reason why I could imagine that he had a warning to go to jail.
He said they get to go sit in the jail with him because they got to protect him for the rest of his life.
Yeah, you can't have him getting caught in the old sausage. Think about that, man. Like, America wasn't prepared for that. Well, we've never had an ex-president go to jail.
Right.
Like, what are we supposed to do?
That is interesting. Really, none of them?
I mean, I'm sure they've been brought up on charges, but actually thrown in the clink for a couple nights. Like, where do you throw them, in the drunk tank? Like,
you need a special cell.
What jail could you house him in? Because presidents, in office and out of office are still very, very major targets, especially Trump. Because not only is he an ex-president, but you're talking about a billionaire.
True, and he's got a following that he don't even want in some cases, or at least he doesn't. He likes to distance himself from certain groups that support him,
Right.
and but he can't stop the fact that they support him like they do. Like they wild. They're a little wild, and I don't want to jump into
Well,
all
they
of
do
this.
what he tells them to do.
Yeah, it is what it is. They listen. If he says, "Hey, let's go down the street and have a cookout down there," then they would have had a cookout down there. Guarantee.
They might have took that. They might have thought that was code for something.
Who knows?
We gonna burn something.
But they already knew that much. That's the part that got me. See, if you think about it, they were there for a rally to do what they did. Like it was the whole thing was already set up. Look, we're gonna meet down here. Yeah, exactly, right? Exactly.
China.
Exactly. And I don't get it as to why they allow these people to just use up all the media time with bullshit. Like it's just
that's what the media is for.
What's
like social media and TV, that makes up 3% of the American population. But because it's at our fingertips and at the ready, like you can turn your TV on, it seems like it's everything. Like, and this is a clear example.
Did you say 3% of the population?
3% of what's going on is on social.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
So think about it from this perspective. I could be looking at my phone right now and see the worst racism, walk away feeling like the country is at its worst. And as soon as I walk outside, my Caucasian neighbor looks over and says, "What's up, Sonny?" Then I go to a restaurant, I sit down, and I'm in the South too. I sit down, and even if I went to some like Cracker Barrel or something, which I don't normally go to, but then let's say if I was there, you have a seat, and people say, "Hi, how you doing? Hey, how are you?" Holding the door.
Right.
But as soon as I pick my phone back up and start looking at what's going on, all of a sudden I get that lump in my stomach and I feel like it's the end of the world again. And that's because social media is BS and it's what they want you to believe.
But it's not just about what it is that. And I want to piggyback on that. It's not just about what they want you to believe. It's also come down to what they want you to actually be able to say. Like, there's certain.
Are you ready to purge this BS?
I'm ready to purge this bullshit, man. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I can put out certain videos. Like I can put out a video of the police, like beating somebody else up in a arresting them for a tail light being out or whatever. Nobody bats a freaking eye, right? Mm-hmm. But then I put out a video of like this bus driver who got punched in the face, and then he punched somebody else out for punching him, and then they give me a banned video saying it was against.
Why did they do that?
Well, see, that's the thing. They tried to say that it was a context issue, and in a weird way that I was exploiting the people in that video. But here's the thing.
You voice over the ass whipping, Sekou.
Yo, I did voice over an ass whipping because there was no audio.
So I had the rhythmic ass whipping. Matter of fact, show us what you did.
I had to interpret it. Hold on, I don't even have the shit.
No, you don't have to play the video. I'm just saying, give your fans a view of what you did, because it was hilarious to me.
Well, I didn't do anything. I said some things.
Paint the picture. What happened? What are we watching?
Well, basically, the bus driver got punched in the face, like bah, and then all of a sudden he just starts wailing on the dude, and I was like, huh? What? Huh? Because that's how I felt when I saw it. It was powerful to me because he hit him first, and I was like, oh, that's what you get. You want some help?
And your timing was impeccable.
And I was, I'm telling you, when I was
like,
what was you saying? Right? Like, old school ass whooping, syllable ass whooping. Man.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Where you want them to feel every word and every fist. Man.
Right.
And that's what
this is what you want a 5 or 6 year old watching.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, it depends. Do they ride the bus?
Well, you're living in a country full of Karens.
Hold on, no. You're not going to do that. They can't watch the bus driver whoop ass, but they can have all the gay books and all this extra stuff in school. Are we going to go that route? They just finished talking about that in Florida. And I was like, why are we arguing? They were arguing about shit for third graders. The whole high school, the high school kids walked out. I said, are y'all stupid? I said, you in third grade, you're not supposed to be. I don't want to hear all that. I don't want you just coloring and shit. I don't want you to come ask me questions like that as a parent.
You win, but you just answered your question. Should third graders be seeing that? No. But should third graders be seeing a grown man pummeling somebody?
Well, my page ain't for kids, so it's their parents' fault for letting them gravitate onto my shit. Let's start with that.
Well, you and I were TV kids. We were TV kids. Our parents were at work all day.
We were. But what I'm saying is,
these kids are too.
Yeah, but they're watching way worse than what I put out. I'll tell you that. And the music they listening to, I'm telling you, a lot of it's trance music, man. I've heard some weird stuff. And I'm like, yo, did he just say that? And they're jamming to that shit. So what they're doing is definitely, you know, in my opinion, and I can only have my opinion, it's a little worse than the bus driver fighting somebody for punching them in the face.
Well, okay, so but see, this is how you can gauge what you can and cannot post now. If you can't say it out loud at your job without feeling weird about it, then it's probably cancelable.
Apparently, you don't know how I get down to work then.
Well, you work from home, but I'm saying
exactly.
In my workplace,
so I can say what I want at my job.
I can't go up to the boss and be like, yeah, this bus driver was doing. He'll be like, get the hell out of my office. What are you talking about? Go see Karen.
Man, here's the thing. I think my blood pressure has been made to be high because I've been just not saying stuff trying to be nice to people. And I don't want to hurt anybody, but it's like when you see somebody doing something really it's dumb as shit. And you can't even tell them how dumb it is. You're trying to be like, hey, you know, you should try it this way. And you're trying to be all nice. And really, you should be like, hey, idiot, stop. Stop right where you are. Don't move. Just get out the way. Let me do it. You know, that kind of stuff. You can't even be like that to people. They'll be like, he assaulted me. Like, hold up, man. I was trying to help you fix your tire or whatever. Everybody's too sensitive. And they saying it's like you can't talk no more. We used to be able to talk. Like we talk to each other. We call each other everything.
But see, it's biting people in the butt now.
Well,
and I'm gonna tell you why. Did you happen to see the Oscars?
Oh Lord. Are we going to talk about the Oscars?
It was dry as a cracker.
Yeah, but the Oscars been dry. It just got pumped up because Chris Rock got smacked.
I don't disagree with you. The Oscars has always been dry. Exactly. However, when you take away the jokes, so to speak, like the real edgy jokes, and you know, what do you call it when the roasting.
Right.
When you remove that, it's like going to church at the Interfaith Center in Columbia and not going to the Baptist one. You know what I'm saying? It's awful. Like,
it's horrible.
Jimmy Kimmel couldn't tell a good one. Maybe he got one or two that were close, but you can see a real comedian up there like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm telling these jokes. Like, nope, you can't do that one. Nope, you got to run by, they got to judge everything. You got to run your whole set by somebody, and it was awful.
Yeah, awful. You can't say nothing no more, man. And that's the part that I'm just so frustrated with. I keep pissing people off on TikTok. I'm pissing people off on Facebook. I'm pissing off YouTube by accident. And then YouTube is striking me for stuff I found on fucking YouTube. Like, I got it off your forum, idiot. I just reposted it. Why all of a sudden you giving me a strike? You didn't strike the person that put it up.
Well, what about maybe they're hitting you for a copyright ding too? That's what put it on their radar.
Different. They tell you what it's for.
No. Listen to what I'm saying. You post something that they've already approved, so it's in their database, meaning they already it's there, and then you put something else. You're basically screaming, "Come look at me! I'm using content that is not mine. I just want to review it," or
Yeah, but that's what they're doing anyway. That's my whole point. Why can't I do the same shit I'm watching? I'm
Because
watching people do the
certain
same thing.
creators have problems with that too. Like if you like even now in his death, if you use a Kevin Samuel clip, his people are coming for you.
Yeah, but
He
that's Kevin
demanded that you
Samuels.
get permission.
Right. But that's also Kevin Samuels. And that
But
is,
how would he know you used it?
he wouldn't. And if he did,
Because it
then,
sends him a ding.
right.
And he can see it. Okay, somebody reposted my clip or whatever like that. So
Right.
what I'm saying is when you did that, you sent a message to YouTube to come look at what you're doing.
Oh, they've been looking. They've been pissing me off lately too. Are they getting this right now? I hope they're getting this right now. I already
Yeah.
know how the little algorithm works. That's fine. Don't
Yeah,
circulate
we
it
got our
around.
cancel shoes on.
Yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool. But that's not right, man. Like I
I'm
said,
not saying it's right, but
I've gotten the copyright one because before I had music, I would play. And that's
Mhm.
so I know what the message is when you get that. That's not what
Right.
they're telling me. They're telling me it's violating graphic, gore and shit like that. And I'm like, yo, I got it off of YouTube. What the hell?
Yeah, but
This is
just
what
because it's
I
there,
found it.
well, if you don't know that, but I get it. There's a lot of stuff on YouTube that's just there. But
Nah, man.
if it had come out now, it would not make it.
You can't keep it there then. Go look for some shit from like back in the day that was
No,
definitely.
man, because then there'd be no better than Facebook. Because like, look, before Facebook
They ain't
standards
no
got
better.
crazy, people used to post naked pics in groups on Facebook, right?
Yes. They
You
still
remember
do.
that?
Don't get it twisted, but okay. All right.
Even
I'm
if the
glad
group
you
isn't
think they don't.
even if the group is private, but what happens is Facebook's detector, this algorithm, when it's detecting things,
Right.
it will find something your funky ass did 3 or 4 years ago, and
Yes.
and you can get a ding now. Like even like
Okay.
it was about I say about 7 months
Hold up.
ago.
Hold on a second. They can't hold on. They can give you dings after the fact, is what you're
After
saying?
the fact, they went back on me 4 or 5 years and said you got 30 days of not being able to go live or something and post because of this picture that I posted of this woman who's like she's like a gilf, and the meme was something about what you gonna do around tax time. She had on clothes. I mean, she had on a bikini, but it was like one of those. I want to say it was like palm colored, like this color. So you could see that she was wearing a bathing suit or
Right.
panties, whatever it was. But I got 30 days because of that. Like we didn't have that standard back then. So if they take YouTube now and go back and everybody that posted some world star type stuff back then, nobody would be
Right.
doing nothing.
But that's what I'm saying. They're trying to get back to that now, and now we can't do anything, but I'm still seeing the content.
Right, because I'm saying they're not doing what Facebook is doing. They're not going back to that content and erasing it, which is
Really.
good because YouTube is literally like a living history. So
Yeah,
if you start
sort of.
removing all of that, then you can't go back. Like, but you got like a library at your fingertips.
Well, that's the thing about it. Why can't we put new information up now? Like everything is
Because
being
a bus
scrutinized.
driver's ass whipping ain't
Hey,
necessarily
it is
new
good
information.
info. That's new information. Don't hit the bus driver. Let's start with that. Don't punch bus drivers. And if you do
I
punch a
mean,
bus driver, this is what might happen to you. That was good information. That's a life lesson learned by that kid.
it's a
Whoever that person
double-edged
was.
sword. I mean, part of it, everything you hate about it, I hate about it. But the other side of it is
You can't
it
even say what you
causes you
just
to
said.
think outside the box as opposed to just violence and being vulgar.
Okay, to a degree.
We're not
But
promoting being vulgar anymore. So
right.
people have to, in order to be entertaining, they got to use their head now.
Well, sometimes I don't want to use my head
I
though.
agree, 100%.
Sometimes I just want to throw something out there and be like, look at this shit. And that be it. That's it. And then no commentary, nothing. Just look at this shit. And then boom, a video
Yeah, it
that
definitely puts a damper on what you're trying to do. I feel you.
I can't even show people stuff.
And then
And
they
then
threaten to take your whole channel and
yeah, they tried that. I did find a way to blur some things out and put some poop emojis over stuff. I mean, I found some ways to get around some stuff. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not letting the bus driver video go. I'm not
what are you
letting
gonna
it
do
go,
with
man.
it?
I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. It's already all over Facebook and all over Instagram and all over these other places. But YouTube was like hell to the no. They sent me the whole email and everything, man.
When you uploaded it, did you choose the "this is not for children" option?
I always do. I never say my shit's for kids.
Stop choosing that.
Well,
It's
then what
ass
am I supposed
backwards.
So what am
Stop
I supposed to
choosing it.
choose? Nah, man, because there's the problem.
When you choose the "not for children" option, that's when they ding you. And it makes it hard for people to search your video or find your video.
No, but that's also what they say is if you don't indicate that and your video happens to be a bit much for children, then they'll ding you for that. So you gotta identify what you are at that point.
Okay. Well, look, devil's advocate. If your mom says, "Look, I don't want people walking in here with muddy boots on," what you gonna do? You gonna uphold the law, or you gonna let people walk in our house with muddy boots
Well,
on?
me personally, I'm not gonna let people walk in the house with the muddy boots on. But
YouTube is not our house. It's just a huge house, but it's somebody else's house. Like if you and I created YouTube, we would have the freedom to say, this is what we want done here and what we don't want done here. And when y'all come in here wilding out, we lose the Karens. We lose the others. You know, we lose a whole lot of people that are paying customers that like to present here and like to watch here.
Hold on. Did you just call them Karens?
I did, and it's probably offensive.
And that's the kind of shit you can't even say no more. You can't even say the name Karen anymore.
You can't?
No, not without people getting offended. That's like it's like calling, it's like the N-word. I hate to say it that way, but if you call a white woman Karen, like if you say to her, "Hey ma'am, what's your name?" and she's like, "I'm not giving you my name." You're like, "Okay, I can guess your name's Karen." If you say some shit like that, oh my God, the police are getting called. You just committed assault. You don't know what they're gonna do. It's like somebody turned that name that's been around for ages. There's been Karen since Jesus, man.
But can we say Barbaras?
And I'm sure you can say Barbaras now, but somebody named Karen and everybody named Karen now hates somebody named Karen now because that person started it off bad for everybody that's named Karen. And I don't know.
Well, you know, with that one right there, see, the problem is people like to say it in person. And that's what changed the game. Like, let's say you got a white woman and a black woman fighting in a store, right? The black woman immediately says, "Look, I don't have time for you, Karen." She should have just never said that. You should have posted the video and then we could all say Karen in the comments.
Right. But you just said Karen. So
I'm going to jail, man.
So it is what it is.
They're taking me up the freaking road.
They're taking you up the road and they've already.
But they ain't gonna call me and tell me I'm getting knocked on Tuesday.
Right. Yeah, they're not gonna tell you what day you go into jail.
Nah. Because I'm thinking Wednesday is a little festive. You know?
They didn't have me. They didn't have me for a second.
I ain't going to jail on hump day. Fuck that.
They literally hit him up like that Chapelle show episode where he was like, "So which day you coming to turn yourself in?" He's like, "Man, I'm busy on Wednesday." You're like, oh, "I'll come down there, and,
what
Friday.
time you want me there? 8,
right. Right, that kind of shit. And this is who may be the next president.
Oh, at this point, I remembered fearing that when the first time around.
Right.
And then it happened. I will never fear another president unless we get a dictator.
Right.
Who cares?
Yeah, we made it through that. We made it through that. We can make
it. What we got going on right now? I'm like, look, man.
Oh my God. I don't even want to talk about that situation. I'll tell you what.
What's the limit to the age on a president? 103 now? Like
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'll be surprised if Biden makes it through this term, let alone another one. I'm just saying he doesn't move
life-wise.
Yeah, he doesn't really look too good. Like just
looks like he needs to be sitting in the armchair watching TV, chilling.
Yeah, just counting down to waiting it out.
Yo, I mean, like retirement age is what, 60?
Nah, not anymore. 65? It's like 65 now, yeah.
Yeah, 65, that's right. So I couldn't imagine a day after 65 thinking I want another job that's going to take 4 years and then a year or two to campaign for it.
Yeah, that's kind of goofy, but he may have had nothing else better to do. All I'm saying is,
I just want to have a seat.
the way that he moves around is kind of like, what does that remind me of? I want to say a mummy.
Cocoon.
Yeah,
You ever
like a
seen
mummy or
Cocoon, yo?
he just don't move normal. Like and it seems
Mm-mm.
like it's age related. And I think that, being the president is a tough ass job.
Yeah.
It looks like, there's some spoils to it. You get to fly around Air Force One, all that kind of stuff. But that seems like a tough job, man. I've seen him.
Obama went in with the same haircut as John Travolta in Grease and came out looking like Grady off of
Yeah,
Sanford and Son.
man, he went from he all
Great
his gray
Goulet
came while he was in
Fred.
all his gray came while he was in the White
Yeah.
House. So there is definitely something to that job. To be honest with you, Trump didn't age that much.
Because he's already 250 years old.
Right. And
Fake news.
he's getting work done weekly. Like he goes in for like weekly appointments to get stuff done. I need you to bring my eyebrows up, that kind of stuff. He does that
Take
every
the
week.
hair and flap it forward. Sew some more back there. Fake news.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
What's going on?
Is your how's your feed looking over there?
It's looking fine.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
All right. It just acted up on my end, which is
Nah,
expected.
you
When
fine.
you say too many keywords, they'll just tap in real quick just to let you know they around. Like, hey, bro, I heard them last couple phrases you said. Just know you spit out them keywords. And that's
Right.
the thing about it. It's like there has to be a way for there to be a little bit more freedom in what we're able to say.
No, there's not. Because you have freedom of speech outside your home.
That's bullshit.
Not in the workplace and not at the store. I meant outside your home, like on the step. That's where freedom of speech takes
Right.
place.
When you
And
tell
if
them to get
somebody
off
can
your grass,
hear you next door, then you in trouble.
because that's disturbing the peace.
You no longer have freedom of speech anymore.
So then
And
why
you
are people
definitely
always
don't have
talking
it in
about it?
somebody else's house. And this is somebody else's house.
Man, this is the internet, man. This ain't somebody else's house.
No, the internet is a totally different thing. YouTube is a totally different thing than the internet. YouTube sits on the internet.
Yeah.
Now you could go on the dark web and talk however you want.
But I don't want to be on the dark web because then they really come looking for you. That's when the FBI come looking, not these little email bandits, these little bots, these little bot police.
Right.
That your video violated our community standards. Come on, man. Shut the hell up. That bullshit.
See, you got 6'5" energy right now.
Yeah, but that's all I'm saying. Like, come on, man. All the stuff I watch on here, and you're gonna tell really I violated? I violated. I've seen some things on YouTube. Let me just say that. I've seen
Well,
some
see,
things.
the other part of it is you was making fun of this man getting pummeled.
But why should he have not been made fun of? Shame is a good thing. We need to stop shaming shame. Let's
We need to
stop
bring
shame
back
shaming.
the shame.
Let's stop shaming. Okay.
Yeah,
Everybody's talking
right.
about fat shaming and all this other shaming. Let's stop shaming. How about that? Because when people are ashamed of something, they normally don't return to that behavior. So
Right.
if you
No,
punch the bus,
not these days, because a million people could watch that. And somebody's still gonna walk on a bus and try to punch the bus driver, and the bus driver's gonna pummel him again.
yeah, well, that person wasn't paying attention. Let's just put it that way, because those were some brutal hits he was dropping the whole forearm on this dude, like fire, like that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? That was an ass whooping. Lesson learned, yo. If he didn't learn a lesson that day, I don't, there's no help for him. Let me just put it that way. There's no help if there's no
Yo,
lesson that was learned.
can you run that sound effect back though? Yeah. Fire! Yeah, if you got hit with one of them, that's something.
Yeah, because it's like the mixture of the bottom of the fist and it goes into the forearm and ends with the elbow. It's like a foul, like that. Like that. That last point, you see, he wiped his nose first, man. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm just, if YouTube, if you're listening, I don't appreciate what you did with the bus driver video.
This is our fault though. All of this is our fault. World Star.
But World Star
Peasants
wasn't
closer
my fault.
to the sun.
World
It's
Star,
our fault.
I wasn't even checking World Star at first. And honestly, I can't watch it now because it's like a lot of porn on there. And I'm not saying that there's anything particular against porn, but when I go to World Star to look for something, I don't need to be like advertised porn. I got like 3 sites that are like that. It's like, all right, there's a couple of thumbnails of like some funny shit, right? And then there's a whole bunch of porn. And I'm like, this is not all in the same category. Why are they all on the same page like this? So that's what would happen, like you said, if they just let people put up whatever the hell they want to put up.
Right.
But I'm not saying there shouldn't be some borders, but can we talk about it? Like, reach out to me. Don't just send me an email and not give me like a number I can call.
It's all part of the cancel thing. Like this is the thing. People have no remorse. Like I remember growing up, like people learning who they were, and maybe like a parent or somebody taught you some racism or something.
Right.
You don't even know that you're hearing. They're not, telling you this is what you should say or something, but they just said something. And like maybe if you're around a friend or something, you're like, man, something the N word, but you don't know what you're saying. And this could go for other children out in the park. So everybody gangs up on whoever this kid is that says it.
Right.
And they hate that kid for the day. And then the next day they come back and they're all friends again because there's compassion. Like nobody wants to just beat up on Billy, every damn day. Like, all right, new joke. But in our society now, it's like, no, Billy will burn. He will lose his job. His family will never eat again. He must move and live in the ocean and deal with the sharks and dolphins. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's never ending. Like, at this day and age, if you didn't get Bill Cosby back in the days when it was black and white outside, like, are you really putting an old blind man that did all of this for blacks to go to college and all of this education? You're putting him in the damn jail?
Yeah. They find
but they won't put the lady that damn got Emmett Till in trouble in jail.
I thought she died.
She wasn't dead when they went to find her.
That's true. She wasn't dead then, but I think she recently died, and that's
the point. I don't even want to make it.
Yeah, we're not gonna.
That.
We're not gonna.
I'm just saying
do that. But
cancel culture. You don't just lose your freedom on whatever social media you're on. They also go to your job. They call your boss, and your boss says, well, we can't be represented by that type of behavior.
Right.
And now you've lost your job. Your kids can't go to school anymore. That's why it's like,
and see, that's
it's more of a protection for you.
That's what it's supposed to be. But at whatever point it takes this turn where now we got to be walking on eggshells about everything.
Everything.
Where at the same time, I can go on my Instagram timeline, I can see ass all day. All day.
Because it's where it's supposed to be.
Man, that's some bullshit.
It is.
This is some bullshit. I'm getting tired of it. And I'm about to be lucky that my shit ain't working right now.
I'll tell you what, speaking on that though, the thing that I don't like is the way that the algorithms work.
Yes.
Because if you got drunk 5 years ago and was on Instagram looking at some booty,
yeah, which I was.
Your Instagram now is just booty.
Man, look, I'm embarrassed to open my Instagram when I'm in public.
I couldn't open mine at work.
let me just tell you, not even just work, public. Like if I'm anywhere outside of my home, like at the dollar store or whatever, just out doing regular people shit, I do not open my Instagram when I'm out. You just gotta
go with it, man.
I'm telling you,
you just gotta open it and just have confidence with all that ass hanging out.
Man, most people are like, woo, and like jump into my joint, like, damn, what you got? Like they jump all up in my shit.
Yeah, but it's not as if but everybody's doing it now.
Yeah, man. That's
people just aren't embarrassed.
Well, they should be. Because if all you got is
you
ass,
gotta bring back
Instagram,
the shame.
It's like exactly. Stop shaming, man. That's my new phrase. Stop shaming. Bring that back. Because if I check your Instagram, I don't have to go too far. If I go, a couple of scrolls and this is what I see, then I'll be like, yo, you a little nasty motherfucker, ain't you? You just love ass, huh? And then it'll be, well, I did. No, you do. And you just don't have to like it no more because it's already coming. But that's what your thing was for a hot minute. You got on Instagram wild out. That's what I did. My Instagram is, I'm not even going to tell you. There's a couple of friends, friends and family on there. There's a few of them. But if you put it in raw numbers,
If you go to the magnifying glass on my Instagram, it would
Uh-oh.
think that dudes don't exist.
Yeah,
There's no,
exactly.
because I'm always looking for stuff on musical equipment, news, you name it. Means nothing. All it is pretty faces and booty. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even search that now. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't even remember the last time I did. I think the only time I was ever really searching it was if I was trying to find somebody like on a TV show that I thought was good looking.
Right.
And then you know how you fight, you get to that one actor, whatever her name is, and you get to her, and then it says, oh, hey, look, there's a pretty girl off another show. You follow that one because you want to see, because you don't really know how to use Instagram.
Yeah, that's how
and
I
it
got caught
creates
up, man.
your trend. And I'm like, come on, yo.
Yeah,
Like,
and that's my problem. Why don't I have any control over that algorithm? Like, why can't I reset it or look at it and say, yeah, let's take
do
that
you
topic
do a
out?
lot of searching now? Or do you
I?
just so if you open your Instagram up, do you just scroll, or do you actually go in there with a purpose trying to find something?
It depends on what's going on, but for the most
But do
part
you
now, I
scroll
just
more?
scroll.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I'm
why. And
scrolling
they
there.
just and they also checking how long you watching whatever you watching, because I noticed this. If I'm going through my scroll on Instagram, I'm looking for funny stuff. But like if some amazing
Booty, booty,
ass
booty,
person-
booty, rocking everywhere. Oh, I know.
I'm gonna
I
watch it, but
I
I'm
come back
sure.
down to it. I come back
Yeah.
like, oh.
I'm sure Instagram is following whatever hashtag is
Yeah,
on
I
that
come
post,
back down to that
and
shit.
exactly how, because I've seen it. They watch how much time you spend watching a video, because that's how they get the diagnostics for your stuff. So they're like, oh yeah, we caught you earlier today looking at moon over Miami's. You know what I'm saying? So
Moon over Miami.
yeah, Amsterdam Part 12, huh? Okay. Yammy Davis Jr.
Yo, let me tell you right now, my issue with Instagram is just that I don't have control over the algorithm. They have definitely fed me a nice level of eye candy. Just in all honesty.
Feed, yeah.
I mean, but it is what it is. When I open that app, that's what I'm looking for.
Right.
That's specifically what I go there for, is to pretty much just see who's putting up some ass. I got a couple of favorites, a couple of them that I actually be like, that's my girl right there. Go ahead and put that little ass picture up. I don't never talk to them, you know what I'm saying? But I see them. And I'll be on there like, okay, all right, that's what's up. So
I just don't understand the whole DM thing. Like, that's what I don't get. And the only reason why I say that is because, and I'm glad it doesn't work, because I don't want nobody in my
love. I don't get no love in the DM anyway.
No. But what I'm saying is,
currently in it, but when I wasn't getting no love in it.
So think about it. It seems like the best platform, because you'd be like, okay, well, let's say you're an up and coming artist, and you want to talk to P. Diddy or Busta Rhymes or whoever. You thinking you can actually get to them by sending them a DM. But if they're not your friend, they're not going to see that. It's going to get pushed in that other section.
Right.
Yeah,
it's
like
just sitting there.
So what do you mean slide in a DM? What are you talking about? If I did, you would never see it anyway. I'm not wasting my time. I don't know you and you don't know me.
Right. So
and then when you get in there, that's a good topic of conversation. What would you say if you were able, like, let's say you were able to get into some pretty girl's DM that you didn't know? What would your opening play be? Hi.
Can we go get something to eat? That's where I'm
like
start.
Tanisha off a Bad Girls Club.
That's where I'm going to start. Because if not, I'm gonna end up saying, because just being honest, there was a period in time in my life where I was active in mailboxes and such. And
tell me you didn't lead with the DP, did you?
No.
Hey, how you doing? Look at my dick.
Look at it. I've never sent a dick pic. There's absolutely
overzealous.
Yeah, there's never one. I always my answer was always very simple. If you want to see it, you got to come see it.
Okay.
And so the ones that came to see it saw it, and the ones that didn't come to see it didn't see it. You see what I'm saying? It's as simple as that. There you go.
Brought the belt home.
That's
All
the
right.
one. That's that killer blow right there. That finishing blow.
Yo, the way you jump past the TV.
I'm serious, man. That's the finishing blow. But that's
So you will open up with, can we get something to eat?
pretty much. Because what
Your
am I
treat
supposed to
or
say?
y'all going Dutch?
No, it's my treat. It's my treat. Shit, I pay for that. I pay
Okay.
for that. I always, man, look, let me tell you what. First, I'm not going to say no cliche shit like it ain't tricking if you got it and all that. Look, first of all, you got to pay for that. If it looks like that, you're going to pay for it. You're going to pay something for it. So let's just start by getting some food, because that way I'm going to get something out of it because I'm hungry. You know what I'm saying? At least I'm going to get something out of it, because if you start with that, I need my head, my nails, you can go in that route. Now I'm just putting out money. I'm not getting nothing out of that. Let's go get something to eat so I can see how you eat. Man, I went out with this chick one time, man. I'm going to tell you a story. So I can see how you eat. See what kind of shit you eat, how you put things together on a plate. You know, how you deal with chicken,
That's important.
things like that. Like, there was this one chick that I went out with. This is a long time ago, right? And I was like, you can have anything on the menu. She orders the chicken and then proceeds to peel all the skin off the chicken. And I'm like, well, why didn't you just get the boneless, skinless fucking breast cutlet? Why'd you get the chicken wings, the buffalo wings, and then peel all the skin off? So now you in front of me with your nails, peeling the skin off the chicken. I'm trying to eat my chicken.
That's disgusting.
That shit was horrible. She was really pretty though. She was really pretty. I put up with it like 2 dates. She got like 2 dates out of me because I was like, yo, maybe that first thing was just a thing.
So what y'all go eat the next time? Crabs?
No, it was actually it was something similar. She ended up getting like a shrimp boil or whatever. What's that called? A seafood boil. Yeah. So it was crabs, lobster, all that kind of shit. Yeah. He's sucking the oysters and shit. So you know it was nice that time, but it's still like the chicken thing just bothered me. And after that, I just, you know, she knows who she is, and if you ever see this, we still cool, all right? You know exactly who you are. I don't want you to just be mad at me because we still cool. Like, but that chicken shit messed with me. That's why we didn't keep dating. All right, you wanted an answer. You wanted that answer. There it is. Okay, it wasn't that you were ugly.
It's not you. It's me. No, right. You know what? It was you.
I had some things going on, and I was, you know, very particular about certain standards. And the chicken peeling in front of me on the first date.
Chicken peeling.
That was a bit much for me. That was a bit much.
I don't think peeling is supposed to be even in the same sentence with chicken.
Right.
Yeah, I'm about to go peel some chicken.
So what? Just saying, if she ever see this, I'm like I said, I'm not gonna say her name because you know how the internet don't forget nothing.
Nothing.
And like I said, she been cool. Me and her been cool ever since. She always wondered why we didn't go on no more dates. And I never really answered the question. So that was the answer to the question. That chicken peeling thing I never got past it.
This is why we got to bring back the shame.
Well, I asked her about it. You see what I'm saying? Like, I literally said, why would you get the chicken just to peel all of the skin? I don't like the skin on the chicken. But you could have had anything on the fucking menu. So why order something that's going to cause you to have to do all that work on the first date? Anyway, you know what?
I don't know if I trust people to eat skinless chicken. Like, what's wrong with you?
Yo, let's start with
either be a carnivore or not.
Right. Skinless chicken. I don't even know what that's about. I don't know what that's about.
Even on a nice, good, crisp baked chicken breast or baked chicken thigh or something, like that chicken is everything. It holds the season right. That skin.
So here's the thing, man. We are covering a few surface issues, but there's something very, very important to me that I need to discuss.
Purge it, man.
All right.
Do it, Sekou.
I am tired of you NWAs. Niggas with accessories, yo. I am tired of it. I'm tired of the purses, the tall ass fucking boots, all the extra shit. I'm tired of it. And you know, you're gonna say, oh, you don't like it because you can't get it. If I could afford it, I still wouldn't buy it. Why? Because it's ugly. It makes you look ugly. It makes you look stupid. Because if I could take that bag off your shoulder and put it on my lady's shoulder and they call it a purse, then guess what the hell it is? It's a purse. Okay? Get a
Yes.
backpack. I'm sorry, man. They got these, and then they got all this extra stuff. Like there's all this stuff, man. Everybody's wearing
The
tight ass clothes,
accoutrements.
and they
The
wearing these tight ass
accoutrements.
clothes. Don't nobody know what they are no more. One person's supposed to be a guy. You're supposed to be a girl. You're supposed to be him, her, this, that, and the other. It's just everything then got
See,
haywire.
that brings up a good question. So there's a show called Baddies on Zeus TV.
Baddies.
Yep. It's all of the top girls from Bad Girls Club show. And so, and one of these girls that was invited to be a part of the show is a transgender female. So used to be the kind of person that has a penis and now does not have a penis.
Oh, really? Like went all the way over.
Yeah, I guess that's what but I don't want to say the wrong thing because we could say the N-word all day and not get canceled, but you start dancing on this minefield.
Well, you got to know the difference though, because there's difference.
But my point is, this person that used to play for the blue team was set up to have a boxing match with a born pink teamer.
Pink teamer. See, that'll get you canceled too. What you mean, pink team? We're all equal. We're all equal.
The way you said it.
Right. We're all equal. Our color could be something nice. Like a nice chartreuse.
All right, so this one was naturally born with a vagina.
Okay.
Versus someone who was naturally born with a penis.
Okay, so a vagina.
But no longer has the penis.
Yeah, but so it's a faux vagina. A faux vagina, right?
What that mean?
A faux, like fake. Gina.
Okay, yeah,
a faux vagina.
Well, I don't know what they look. I don't know what. It just wasn't there to start with.
There, so it's fake. Okay?
There you go.
So
if this person puts hands on this other person, is that not? Would people get upset about
violence and all that kind of shit?
Like if you put your hands on your lady,
right?
People gonna say, "Oh, that man should have never done that."
Right.
But if a man has his part switched out, is the rest of his body not still that of a man?
He went from a stick to an automatic, yo.
Yeah, like this
out his engine.
This is what I'm getting at. If Hulk Hogan gets breasts, loses his penis, and now has an ass, is it not Hulk Hogan? It ain't Brittany Hogan.
Right, but that's the thing.
Because I bet you Bruce Jenner or Caitlyn Jenner could still whoop that ass.
Right, but that's the problem is we can't say that, even though we feel it to be true. And I know later on, if I ever do something, us even having this conversation is going to come up. And they'll be like, he's transphobic. Look, let me just set the record straight. Phobia is something that you would fear. And I'm not afraid of y'all. Okay. I just don't like the way that we have to try to figure this shit out.
Yeah, I hate that they put phobic on the end of that word.
Just because I don't really get it.
If any of y'all seen one of my best friends, OJ, I'm scared of him. Like if it came down to a fight, I fear that man. He's freaking 34-0 kickboxer over there in Europe. You know what I'm saying? And over here, he's an MMA fighter. I don't train like that. I can't fight him. But no, I don't have a phobia. I'm not afraid of none of that.
Okay.
I'm afraid of saying the wrong thing because y'all will come for my job.
Right. And then you won't even be able to get another job.
And a lot of times when you say the wrong thing, it's not because you mean to say something ignorant. It's just that you are ignorant. Like I don't hang out with you all day, so I don't naturally assume your pronouns. I don't know what that stuff is. Because there's a dude on the show that went by them. Yeah, because he felt like he's a girl and a boy at the same time. So he goes by, instead of him or her, he goes by them.
See, like I
And
said,
they.
I gotta stay away from part of that because I already know where it's going to take me. That's what TikTok did. The TikTok algorithm. I accidentally liked a picture of a trans something. It was a woman that was used to be a man, was kind of still a man. I don't know. I didn't see his whole package. You know what I'm saying? I just seen that ass. This nigga was thick as shit. Anyway. And I accidentally hit the joint. He was doing squats, yo. I was doing squats, man. And
You
had
getting
the
clown
whole,
for this too.
hey, clown me all day. I ain't the only one. I ain't the only one. Because I be on there now, and there's a lot of dudes that got trapped into this sunken place with me, where you like the wrong damn video.
And then girls would be like, see, that's why you get
Right, right. So now I started getting like these weird ass friend requests and shit. And so I now have to start looking at the little bios and all
Like
that.
what? I didn't know.
Be like, hold on. I thought
Nah,
TS
I'm
stood
messing
for
with you. This
tall and
started all the
slim.
way back in Jerry Springer. Jerry Springer used to have girls on there that people didn't know was girls.
It is what it is.
I mean,
But
didn't
see,
know that
that's
was
my
boys,
problem.
rather.
That's my issue. So because I liked that video, TikTok started feeding me a bunch of trans shit. So now I don't even know what to like anymore. So I gotta like look all the way into it. Like, if I like this shit, is this okay? Because it might not be what I think it is, and then it's gonna
Right.
start feeding me some stuff that really ain't what I want it to be. Because like the one that was the chick that looked, well, it was a dude. You know what I was saying? That one was really nice looking. But then the stuff they started feeding me wasn't at that caliber. It wasn't at that I could pass through it and not see that there was a man on my timeline in a weird position. You see what I'm saying? Once that started happening, then late night I jump on the lives. Like, I be on the TikTok lives. Let me just say, that's a weird ass fucking place. Okay. And I think I blame it on my algorithm, because I'm like, yo, is this all that's on TikTok at night? Like, is this what we do? I don't know if you've been on there.
My TikTok is completely different because of all of the musical stuff that I do.
See? Exactly. Exactly. All I had to do was make that one mistake of liking some ass, or what I thought was some ass. Well, it was some ass.
Bring back the shame.
Yeah, say what you want, man. That nigga was thick, man. He was thick, yo. Got me good on the pass through. I was going right, doop, 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 just going right on through some shit. And then a couple of posts later, there was somebody else reacting to it like, you wouldn't even know this was a man. And I'm like, holy shit.
Word?
I was like, ooh, I just liked that. Oops. And I couldn't like go take away the like. It was
you
too
can.
late. What, you can take away likes?
You can unlike a like, yeah.
Let me be honest.
Now you tell me.
I moved too fast. And yeah, that was way too long ago for it to happen.
Bring back the shame.
So now at night when I go on TikTok, it's scary. It's a scary, scary place. And
yeah, I don't envy you. I don't want a part of that. So
so your shit is like regular shit, huh?
yeah, mine is mostly like, if it is any live going on, it's normally girls or dudes singing karaoke or something.
See, what I get is,
or people making beats. Or
what I
comedy
get
stuff.
a lot of times is I get the people just doing random stuff. I hate that. Like, you just laying in the bed.
Oh
just
yeah,
looking at the
that's
TikTok.
ridiculous.
Like, yo, why is there 1,000 people in here watching this bitch go to sleep?
Right.
Why?
Like it ain't, like it's not a video.
Right. It's not even a video. It's a live. So you got
No. I'm saying people hook up, because you can get TikTok on the desktop live.
Right.
So they can just broadcast an infinite loop of somebody's chest going up and down, breathing or something, and go out.
So I was gonna stop my TikTok account, but I kind of like it.
Your
at the same
content
time.
is incredible.
Yeah,
Especially
well,
when
I'm
you
just
do the
getting
funny
started.
stuff.
Yeah, but see, that's the other thing. Some shit that's funny is funny, and then they tell me I can't post the shit. Like,
well, that's because all right, you got to remember, our generation, our humor was born in either bullying or being bullied. And I'll explain. You got a trophy. You got a trophy for being great.
Right.
They get trophies for being alive. So if you're getting trophies for being great, then that means you were born in an era where if somebody was sucking on the team, like on either side, we were all screaming, "You suck!" Like, you know what I'm
suck.
saying?
Please
now they
take
make
that
their parents
personal.
be quiet, and so like just for example, what you were saying earlier, the bus driver thing. You and I found that hilarious. Like if this
A
was
lot
our
of people found it
YouTube,
funny, honestly. A lot
I
of people
know,
did.
but that's what I'm saying. If this was our YouTube, it would have probably gotten pushed up to the top of our algorithm, so somebody could, we could bring back the shame. Like, so you could teach that lesson, but they don't. It's like even now, I tell people, I was like, yo, if you haven't had a decent bully, you're probably not gonna grow up to be much.
True.
And people disagree with me, but I had bullies growing up, and it wasn't until I learned how to either fight back or laugh at myself.
I had a couple of them. I had a couple of them.
Yeah. A good
So
textbook will make a bully reconsider.
yeah, but see, that's the thing. Everything is so like baby soft. You just can't say anything, man. I'm telling you. And here's the thing. I'm gonna be honest. I work remotely, but I have like a team of guys I deal with. These guys say and do whatever the fuck they want to do. Now, granted, they don't all look like me, if you know what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
but they're pretty lax and they be saying some, I'm not going to say like racial type stuff, but they'll say something and be like, yo, you can't really say that at work. And then nobody says nothing. So it's really not about what they're saying. It's about the impact of the people around what they're saying. And if they don't give a fuck, then there's no fucks to give. So the problem is the people that actually give a fuck need to stop giving a fuck. I hate to say it that way, but there's certain things that it's like, come on, man. All this
Well,
stuff I get to watch, all this craziness I get to see at night, man. There's literally dude chicks on there like with they.
you just got canceled right now.
No, I didn't. I did
Well,
not.
what you
I
just
did
said?
not, sir. I did
Did you
not,
say
sir.
dude chicks?
Hey.
What is it? Yeah.
Because here's the thing. What is it? What is a dude chick? What is it?
I don't know, good sir.
Exactly. It's them. So there's your pronoun. There's your pronoun.
Nah, I'm just saying simply, it's like this, man. The nerds when we were growing up are the ones that run Hollywood.
They do to a degree,
But they
yes.
got beat up when they were young. So when they gained the power, like think about it. Look at Bill Gates, one of the most powerful men in the world. You think Bill Gates was getting any play when he was in high school? This guy looks like he ate TV dinners from the womb till now.
He better have been a billionaire. Life was
Did Steve Jobs look like he was pulling chicks?
No.
No.
But that's not for everybody anyway. Somebody has to be the nerd. Somebody has to be the jock.
Yes, the
Somebody
nerds
has
are
to-
on top. That's what I'm saying. Like people always talk about the strong will always survive. Yes, I believe that if we were out here in the wilderness. Yes. But
Right.
in today's society, the strong get thrown in jail.
Yo, they told me one time, they told me I was a threat when I had my hands up. Like imagine you like this, and they're like, it's threatened because we don't know what he could have done with his hand.
I feel them in that because if you think about it, I'm 6 foot tall. I feel like it's unfair for anybody to look down at me and see the top of my scalp after 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
Yeah.
Like if Shaq was up there, Shaq could literally just go and kiss me in the middle of my head. And that would be the biggest punking I ever took.
Yo, I'm always a threat. I'm telling you, I know a bunch of people my size. We all run into the same problem. It's like whenever something pops off, they like, look at the big black one. He had to do something.
But that's like the white guy that walks in the gas station with the gun on his side. He don't realize that any killer in there about to rob the joint is shooting him first. He just thinks that's what it is. You walk in a threat,
Well,
you don't mean to.
You know, just to be honest, you know, I live in a state that has some pretty not relaxed laws when it comes to guns, but you're allowed to carry them. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
But it seems like it's more dangerous to carry the damn thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You become the threat.
Right. like the police pull guys over, and I see they send me the videos and stuff. Like I said, I can't post the shit, but I'm seeing the shit on the same shit that I can't post the shit on. Anyway, but they'll pull somebody over, and the person will say, "Hey, I got a registered firearm in the vehicle." Now all of a sudden they got to get out the car. Like a minute ago, you wasn't worried about me getting out the car. You was just gonna write me a ticket. And then when I tell you, "Hey, just to let you know, officer," and these folks will have their hands on the steering wheel, whatever. "Hey, officer, I got a registered firearm in the vehicle. It's in the glove compartment." Why you even got to tell them that for real?
Do you?
You're not reaching for it, but apparently you do.
What you have to say it?
That's what they think, or at least that's what the officers think. Because if they find it, then he got a gun, and there's some other shit. You see what I'm saying? So it's like it's not safe to carry the shit because they immediately, like you said, you immediately become the threat. So if you become the threat, that's the threat to police officers who also have guns. And that's why I'm telling you, I've seen so many videos of the same thing. And they say, "Hey, I got a gun in there." And they be like, "Don't reach for it, okay?" All right, I wasn't reaching for it. I'm sitting right here. I'm just letting you know, because y'all supposed to know that it's in the vehicle, whatever. Then they do what? They turn to another one. "Hey, he's got a gun in the vehicle." And nigga still got his hands on the steering wheel, no threat at all. So it immediately escalates the situation.
I'd be the same way if I was there.
Exactly.
If I pull you over and I find out you got a gun, I'm letting everybody know you got a gun in there just in case. Because one of them people with me might be an ornery son of a bitch.
Right.
Because I know I can control myself. If I know you have a gun, I have calmed myself down so we can have a decent conversation. Because as long as I got one and you got one, we on even terms. But it's that cocky son of a bitch at the passenger side window picking on everybody in the car that I'm worried about. He's the one that's trying to start the problem.
Right.
It's always that cop, that one with the flashlight that looks like this.
He just
always him.
He just got there and shit.
Or her.
Or her.
Or they. Or them.
Or that. I mean,
those.
But see, that's the thing. You can't. That was good. That was nice and vague. Nobody knows who any of those were. So
no one knows.
And
Keith Stone knows.
Right.
Keith Stone.
Now here's the problem. If law enforcement officers are not mentally equipped to handle law enforcement, what would be the best way to deal with that? Because you can't just fire them all. We need police. So,
well, first of all, the problem is everybody that signs up for a job, it's just like most people in relationships. They're giving you who they want you to see. So nobody's walking in there saying, "I'm crazy. I want to be a police officer."
True.
What they need to do is put cameras in the damn bar that they all go to and just, watch them after they graduate.
Yeah. That'll give you a good indicator. Okay.
Yeah. Well, all of the cops drinking pops. Put a camera in there.
Yeah, see, here's the thing. All of the officers don't necessarily, they're not all bad.
No, they're not.
It's just that some will have these moments of weakness, is probably the best way to describe that. Because if you have an officer that hasn't had any complaints in, like, let's say 15, 20 years, and then he wilds the fuck out one day, he might have just been having a really, really bad day. He's been doing a job for a long time. It's the little young ones I don't like. Them little young ass niggas.
Yeah, I get that. I just think what it boils down to is not everybody, and this I learned in the military too, not everybody is equipped for combat.
True that.
And what I mean by that is when your heart starts beating in between 170 and 190, like if you're in a fist fight, having the resolve or understanding instinctively how to react when your heart is beating that fast is something that a lot of people don't have. And so, yes, you can be a well-trained police officer, but if you don't if you didn't fight when you were growing up, you probably don't understand what to do in those times. Like people that think they can go to some self-defense class and survive Park Heights. It doesn't work that way. But at the same time, a kid even from the suburbs that fought, I don't know, like got into like 6 to 10 fights growing up, and understands what that feels like when you're tussling for what feels for your life, that kid would have a better chance. Like Taywan from Oakland Mills. Like you put him in Park Heights, he'll walk through that thing and be fine. He knows the deal. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well,
He fought every
that's
day. I saw dudes was holding his arms like Jesus, and they were punching him in his face, and he was smiling and laughing. Like, but he understands what to do in that type of pressure. A lot of people aren't built for that. And so when you give a person that's not built for that what to do at that heart rate, you give them a gun, somebody's gonna die.
right. But if that's a known fact, then what do we do to resolve that? I'm telling you, I'm tired of seeing the shit. And it's not just about black people getting killed or anything like that. It's everybody. I've seen enough videos. I've seen all different colors, women, men, all different types. It's not just people that look like me. We get the worst though.
What do we do? I'll tell you what we do. We teach de-escalation, and we stick to that. So you monitor, like, okay, so you know how the cops had the camera right there?
Right.
You monitor their interactions with people. Like, you know, everybody should, at least once a week, you will not know what day, but at the end of the day, when you come back, they want to watch, you'll have to go through like an inventory, or not an inventory, but like they'll watch how you dealt with people. And somebody should say, now, why were you talking to that old lady like an asshole like that?
Right.
Like, I cannot remember. I mean, well, that's not true. I've had it several times. I've been stopped, and the officer was obviously having a good day. He was like, hey, what's going on? And I just look up at him and say, all right, goddammit, you got me. And they just bust out laughing. And I normally don't get a ticket. But other times it's, hey, how you doing, officer? License and registration. You could have just said hello. Like, why does it have to be right out the gate? Like, you don't have to be a dick. Like it.
But you know, they call them dicks for a reason. So, and I can't, you know, I'm biased because I got police friends. When my freaking son is an MP, like, come on now. So I know that there's some good ones, but you're right. Most interactions, if it starts out one way, it's good. If it doesn't start out that way, it turns out totally bad.
Did you ever have at your high school, did y'all ever have like a police officer that'll come and talk to the kids every now and again?
Yeah.
At Centennial, we had Officer Bellman. And it turns out his uncle was like one of the writers for the Love of Money song for Leverton or whatever, for the love of money, you know. Anyway, this guy was out here actually policing the neighborhood. Like, you couldn't say all cops were trash if you knew Officer Bellman. He cared about kids, you know what I'm saying? Like, came to the studio, we was up there. I'm not going to tell you what they were smoking. But he walked in here, he was like, man, I don't care about all that crap today. I just came to see how y'all are doing, but y'all need to knock that off. And that was that. But every time somebody saw Officer Bellman, he was like, all right, you know, I mean, nobody talked crazy around him, but we all knew he was a good guy. And then, but he was also one of those peasants that's a little closer to the sun. We didn't naturally have those types of interactions with the ones that are a little farther away from the sun. It was always business, no rapport, no just license and registration. What are you doing up here? I'm getting a drink from the damn store. Like, why would I be at a convenience store? Why are you here?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Right.
But that's part of the problem is there's not enough training of interactivity. Right. There you go. Like a human interactivity.
She just said Keith Stone always.
Keith Stone always
Keith
knows.
Stone knows.
He's a knower.
Just like the guy with the ark in the Bible. Noah. He's a Noah.
He's a Noah.
He knows. He always knows. Ain't that right, Noah?
So I don't know if you know, but I've been working on community relations with the officer community in Florida, and it has been quite the headache. I'm not going to lie. It's like they'll tell me that they want to be, you know, better involved and that they want to be helpful and all this other stuff, and then you try to get them to do the shit, and they'll give you the runaround. It's all of this, it's all of that. So really,
like, yeah, we want to be a much more gentler police. Hold on one second.
Right.
We just got canceled.
We've been working to improve the closeness of us and shut the fuck up, you know what I'm saying?
Get in the car.
Well, I will kill you. I will kill you. That was me impersonating someone, YouTube. I wasn't threatening.
Officer Bill Cole.
Yo, they freaking love that shit. Oh my God. So I'm gonna be honest, I've been trying to get the officers to help me find jobs for convicted felons. I know it sounds rough. But if a cop comes to an employer and says, "Hey, we think this is a good guy," then the employer will like take him. But if not, then there's just a nigga with a record. So and that's tough. So I try to get the probation office, the sheriff's office, and the Department of Corrections to basically like vouch for the person. And then I set them up with interviews and all this kind of shit. And then the fair chance employers hire them. So it's a good idea, works sometimes. But I'm gonna tell you what, the police have been nice, but who they're not nice to is the sex offender.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh man, I'm telling you, I thought it was.
I don't
bad.
know how you fix that.
You don't. It's like almost not. It's not fixable. It's just they got to get lucky, because everybody will say, "Hey, I'll hire somebody with a criminal record." You tell them that person has a sex offense, everything just changed.
Nope.
And it doesn't even have to be
I don't even know if I want to speak on that, because I would tell you like this: once you know the scale of what you're doing to a human that is going to ruin the rest of their life by even dabbling in, and you are someone that's capable of doing that,
right?
Nah, I don't think I could.
I get what
a child's life.
And that's definitely happened, and a lot of those guys have had to serve time for it. But here's my issue: I don't like the fact that they're just in my neighborhood, not able to do other things that are productive, as opposed to sitting in the house and possibly wanting to commit the same crime again. You know, idle minds are the devil's workshop. So we need to keep them working instead of keeping them away from everybody. Keep them visible. We can see your ass. What I don't want you to do is be in your house working on things in your garage and trying to find ways to trap little kids walking down the street. I don't want you to have time to think like that. So that's the angle I came from. Is the only way to really prevent those kind of crimes from happening is to make sure the people that can commit them are busy. I'm not saying that they were right for doing whatever they did to get in trouble. Not saying that.
I am not God, and I will not judge. I'm just telling you, I can't. Whatever you do, I see what you're saying. I just don't want to talk about that one no more. But anyway, I got to go.
Oh, you got to go. Well, no, I got to go.
No, why are you trying to one up my I got to go, yo?
No, because I didn't even. No, wait a second. Wait.
I gotta go.
I was silent about my needing to go because I wanted to allow you your time, and then you're gonna just throw you gotta go out there when it was already in my mind.
Where do you gotta go? I gotta go.
I can't believe you gotta go. When I had to go the whole time and I didn't say anything, you don't get to be the number one go. My go was on deck. It was the on deck go. And
it was on deck go.
Boom, it moves to on base and shit. And then yours would have been on deck. But now you, okay, all right. It's fucking bull.
What the fuck is wrong with this nigga? That's your man. That's your man. Hey, who man's is this? Who man's is this?
Okay. Well, guys, I have to bring you an interesting Who's Mans today. This one is another one of our, unfortunately, not as popular law enforcement officers.
Is it YK Osiris?
No.
Baby girl, you gotta be ready. Yeah, you sound like Mike Jacks. I know, right?
Yeah. So here's the thing. For our Who's Mans,
We have an Officer Flickner, okay, from I want to say Lincoln County, somewhere, I think New Jersey. Livingston.
With a last name like Flickner, I am not surprised he became a cop.
Flickner.
Because he got
and Mr. Flickner. Now, here's the thing. We'll discuss the clip after the fact because I did do some research, but I'll share it with you at the end.
I did some research on some cop stuff too.
You did?
All roads lead to they suck.
No, we're not saying all of them. Just the ones that suck, okay?
Who's we, goddammit? That's a brave stance. The ones that are proven to suck, they definitely suck.
They definitely suck. You know what I'm saying?
Bunch of power bottoms, if you ask me.
Stand on that. I stand on that.
Right.
So let's check out this encounter. I want you guys to take it all in.
Pause.
And we'll discuss at the end, okay?
Why are you impounding my car? What is your name? Can I get your name?
I'm not going to discuss this.
Can I get your name?
No. Sergeant Zambito, Livingston County Sheriff's Office.
Oh, can I get your number? Can I get your number? May I ask why you're illegally impounding my car? Can I take my car right now, officer? I'm right here. The reason I cannot get my car.
Yeah, the district attorney wants to hold it, so you can call me.
For what? What's the district attorney's number right now so I can get it? Before you say that, why are you impounding my car, though? No, you didn't.
I already told you.
Can you please explain it to me again, officer? You're not going to explain why you never told me.
I did.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Yes.
I must not have heard you. Can you please explain it again? There's somebody available here to take my car right now. Shonda,
That's fine.
come here. Right now, there's a search warrant.
Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning, so
Yes.
can I take my car now?
No.
Why?
Because it's getting impounded. I'm not going to
For what reason?
For the warrant tomorrow.
For a warrant
Yes.
tomorrow. I'm going to get my stuff out of here, though, if you're going to impound my car. I am.
not.
So what are you going to do to me if I go and get into my
You
car?
will be arrested for obstruction at that.
Oh, all right. This
Okay.
is what I'm asking you about. This is what I'm asking you. Obstruction from what?
Justice, yes.
For what?
Of a government official trying to do his duties. The district attorney said we are impounding your car for a warrant that will be served on your car tomorrow morning.
For what?
The odor of marijuana.
The odor of marijuana.
And to get in your blood.
And you searched you searched my car and didn't find
No,
nothing.
we couldn't get in your
The
blood.
dog didn't hit nothing.
He showed interest.
The
in blood.
man, stop. He was in my car and it's on here. He showed interest.
Fine, yeah.
The dog did not find anything. And there's people right here. And then you illegally impound my car and you let it happen.
So, gentlemen, I know we're not, some of us are not the biggest police fans. Now,
Do they have fans? Yeah, they're called wives.
yeah, fans, friends
Wives
of
don't
family.
like them. I didn't say all of them.
Look,
But no, here's the thing. Are you familiar with the cartoon named by the name of Popeye? And a character on there named Wimpy? Right. I'll gladly take your car today for a warrant tomorrow. Right.
yeah. Well, and here's the thing. The warrant in and of itself was, let me give you some backstory, because a lot of times these videos come out and if we don't know all of the, if we don't know all the context, we don't really know everything, right?
Context? Isn't that the prison library?
Mm-hmm. So in this particular video, this guy was pulled over and they searched his car. The glove compartment was locked. He refused to open it, which is your right if it's locked when they get to the car. So in order to get permission to break it open so that they could seize whatever's in there, right, they have to get a warrant to do so. So to protect said evidence, they tried to impound the car. So that's why they were talking about a warrant tomorrow, but they're trying to impound the car tonight because I guess maybe he didn't have a license, or I don't know what the real situation was with that. But the underlying point is it was about the fact that he wouldn't allow them to search the glove compartment. So that's why they got this warrant, and that's why all of this occurred. So
I've heard this. I was reading some legal talk on this case, and they basically said that. But wasn't that like a Yugo?
it was a
No, it was a
Volkswagen Golf.
Okay,
Yeah, it was one of
it's
the
a
little Golfs.
freaking Golf. Like, what are you doing? Catch a kingpin.
Well, you know, that's
But that's what they do. They work their way up. They work their way up. They get the consumer.
Bro, I understand that working their way up, but at the same time, like that makes it look like you're starting from the bottom every time. Everybody in the damn neighborhood knows who the boss is.
Well, the cops had the right guy because the guy was obviously black, so they knew that was.
Well, here's the ironic part, and what Bravo said does hold some truth. They did find like an ounce of cocaine and some weed and a couple other things in that glove compartment, because after this video ended, they did end up impounding that car. They did get that warrant the next day, and they did pop that glove compartment open, and there was something in it. So it's kind of like, it sucks that they utilized, loopholes in the law to impound the car until they could get the judge to sign off on it, because I guess it was too late at night. That's probably why that was. Nobody was going to sign.
What allowed them their original service odor of marijuana?
Yeah. Well, that's where the problem. That's where I wanted to get to. So
I learned about that shit from LL Cool J, yo.
Right.
Legal search.
And that's what I wanted to discuss with y'all on Purge the BS.
Hold on, yo. Before because I don't want to forget my point. Talk about justice. These cops just took an ounce of cocaine off the streets. You can all rest easy and feel safe.
Yeah. Nobody's going to be getting high today.
I heard the cop talking about the ounce of weed, ounce of cocaine he found. I believe his statement was, yeah, we found an ounce of cocaine, but I don't know why you're asking me about half an ounce of cocaine. Yeah, a quarter ounce of cocaine is not that much. Yeah, a bump in there.
It was just an 8 ball.
Right, it was just an 8 ball. But I'm just saying, yes, there was some residue there, and we were right.
Not only that, like, it's not even crack. It's the same shit they party on.
Exactly. It's a white boy drug. Let me go.
You can tell by the way he was talking. He was like, hey, can I have the keys back to my car? Are you going to pound my car?
No, I'm going to tell you, this guy, when you see his picture, like I said, I wheel it in here, but he doesn't look like he sounds. Let's just say that.
What does he look like?
He's like got dreadlocks and, he's...
The fuck you mean by that?
Yeah, what is that supposed to mean?
I didn't mean it that way. I'm just saying that the sound, you said he sounded like a white boy.
No, I'm not saying he sounds like a white boy, but what I'm saying is cocaine, bro.
Yeah, he had a whole ounce of cocaine.
So we got a zone of cocaine.
That's why I want to have the discussion. I want to have a quick...
Cocaine is a party favor in D.C. amongst legislators.
And this is my whole point.
It needs to be classified as an air freshener because of its energetic aroma. That's what it's for. It's aromatherapy.
Yes, it is.
God damn it,
guys. So
again, this is what I'm talking about. Like, so Bravo stepped in and he said, well, they got to start at the bottom to get the big fish, right? It's 2024. What fucking sheriff? Because sheriffs is already dicks and they in everybody's goddamn business. What sheriff don't know who the big fish is and that? Like, fuck that shit. Get the big fish. Like, the FBI travels from DC to California or all of these states when the big fish is in DC.
Right.
We don't own fucking ships.
It's about building the case. It's about building the case because the justice system, rightfully so, is to prove guilt. They have to build the case. So yes, I get that. For me, I was just joking that they're taking the small fish to get to the big fish. I was just joking
Denzel on Training Day. That's what Denzel said.
But the whole thing is that the reason why it takes so fucking long, the reason why Diddy ain't locked up yet, the reason why it took R. Kelly so long to get locked up, the reason why Epstein was running fucking wild forever, it was because they had to build the case.
Like, all right, well, this is what I'm getting at, bro. They're doing everything in their power to get into this man's glove box, right?
This guy with the Volkswagen Golf.
Right. With no rims. That dude was riding Steelies. Steelies, yo. He was riding fucking Steelies, yo.
Bro, if you had a $50 vial of cocaine coming from Mexico into the United States, you would be sweating bullets, right?
True.
So how the fuck are all of these black folks getting all of these drugs in this country without the help of where the FBI is located?
Yo, that fucking ounce of cocaine,
I know y'all,
and that little dime bag, you're forgetting about the 10x black multiplier. You know what I mean? And that's what it is, yo. That's the only reason why fucking weed is still Schedule 1. Only reason.
I'm just saying, like drugs just piss me off, man. Like the whole thing, like, bro. People with power are the ones bringing it in. Like drugs, like you don't hear about some plane dropping off $100 worth of cocaine with a parachute.
Right.
That is true.
Give me 5 stars.
Niggas is moving 200 to 500 kilos at a time, and probably more than that.
Yo, they're building disposable submarines. Submarines.
Oh,
at $2
like the Ocean Gate Titan?
No, like at $2 million a pop. You know, these cartels are building disposable submarines that start off in the jungle. You know what I mean? $2 million a pop just to move off the chance it'll get through. You know what I mean? Because when it lands, they got $50 million of product that lands. I mean, yo, this shit goes crazy. Like, it's not us doing it. It's not us doing it. And the thing is, there's 2 things I hate the most about drugs. One is that we get locked up more for them. And 2, I'm too old to enjoy them now, so fuck everybody.
I get you. So I want to touch.
The streets of San Francisco are clean tonight, baby. We took an ounce of cocaine off the street and ruined a man's life.
You can now live in Livingston County.
You can't handle the truth.
You can tell your mom to stop sucking dick because the crack is off the streets.
I don't know if Livingston County. I think it's in New Jersey. Did New Jersey just have an earthquake or something?
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Don't forget that shit. Thank you very much.
But was it worth it? Tell me if it was worth it.
Well, guys, I guess we're at. Are we at the point? Are we at that point?
Pause on that one too, please.
If we want to go ahead and do the quote of the day first before.
Oh, it's coming from the. It's coming from the
point.
Nigga. Yeah, it's coming.
That's
right
enough
from
out of you, sir.
I'm just saying he's been doing his thing, so it's all coming from him, man.
God can bless a hot mess.
Oh no! And we're using this intro.
I am very happy to be here. Turn around, ladies, for me, please.
Yeah, we're gonna need God for this one.
Well, P. Diddy is our topic.
Hold
of
up,
the
this
day,
is
okay?
he's the quote.
He's the quote. You know the quote gotta go
What
with
is it? I thought I told you that we won't stop.
No, that would have been too easy.
Boy, take that.
Yes. I had to dig deeper. Than because those were too easy. Those were the first 2 I thought of. I was like, nah, man.
You and your friends can get with me and my friends, and we can be friends.
We can be friends. We can do this every weekend.
Keep it banging, baby.
Keep it banging.
Okay, so Diddy's quote.
Big ass booty boat.
He was on a ABC interview, and he was talking to, I forgot what the guy's name is. I'll put it in later.
Was it Rooster and Pause?
No, no, it was not, and it was not. But he was quoted as saying, "Mind fucking is being in control of a situation that the other person doesn't realize you're in control of, and they never realized you were ever in control of it."
You can't handle the truth.
On an interview years ago. So he's been telling us that he's a mind control person. He's very into that.
Yeah, he took mine fucking to the literal place. You know what I'm saying?
I got a clip. I got a clip for you. You want a clip?
I love how flowery he makes the word bully.
Right.
That's all it is.
All right, well, check this out. This is just a quick clip of some Diddy shit. Okay. There you go. See how he's looking at you? Don't you just feel like he's trying to undress
me
you?
Uncomfortable, man. He look like Satan. I've been saying that.
Don't say that.
Wants to dress you in his clothes, spray you with his fragrance. I am king. That way. And then pound you with his music.
So mindfucker. Been mindfucked before?
I don't think so.
I'm mindfucking you right now.
You are?
Can you feel my dick fucking your mind?
Really feel anything?
See, that's it. That's the art of it.
That's the art of it right there.
Fucking the shit out of you.
Hope you're wearing a condom because I have a dirty mind.
So, P. Diddy.
That aged like fine milk.
Didn't it? Didn't it? And I heard that the scene was improvised. You see what I'm saying? Like, that was an improvised scene. It wasn't written that way, and that's why Jonah Hill's character sounded so confused. Because that's not what's supposed to happen. But Diddy definitely seemed very comfortable.
He's like, are we supposed to be talking about this in public? It just happened, Diddy.
Right. Like, I thought that was between us.
I thought that was special.
The truth.
So, speaking of the Diddy situation, let's I'm not even going to. Let's talk about it, okay? Let's talk about this Diddy situation because it started with
Diddy.
It started with Cassie, and now it
started with Kim.
That's right. It started with Kim. Well, I mean the full.
No, it started with Usher.
And I'll be sure.
We're not talking about we look. We don't know who was the first person that he put his finger in their butt. We don't. Okay.
This is my confession.
We don't know. But what I can say is the exposure started with, it really, in my opinion, started with Jaguar Wright. She just started talking about everybody and nobody was really listening because she wasn't hot.
Everybody was listening, but it was more along the line. I think
we thought she was
mad.
I
think the rest of the public was seeing it as alleged.
Right. And they thought she was mad.
She was literally saying, I was there.
Right. But the way Jaguar is, she's very...
Speaking of Usher, I was always puzzled by Usher, Ludacris, Jermaine Dupri, and Little John, because the four of them appeared on a song called Lovers and Friends. I never understood that one.
Tell me again.
Lovers and Friends.
Shout it. Oh, boy.
What?
We've been at this for a long time.
Shorty. Look, the Diddy situation, in my opinion,
rubbing, fucking, kiss, and hug.
Shorty.
Lovers and Friends.
It was such a romantic song.
It was romantic, about as romantic as a Brillo pad.
About as romantic as that Diddy Meek Mill tape.
We don't know who was on that tape.
As a rooster
tape. We don't know who was on that tape.
Well, I'm glad you said that because this is where it gets really bad.
All right.
People are saying, oh no, AI did that. Right? And I'm thinking, wait a minute.
Who's AI?
When has AI been programmed to say, for you to say to it, hey, look, I need you to make us an audio recording of Diddy and Meek Mill having man sex, and AI is like, sure, no problem.
Right. Calculating. Here are 4 examples.
Like, that is ridiculous. Like,
yeah.
If that's what AI is doing, oh my God.
I don't think AI is doing it.
You know what?
Neither one of them came out and said anything about that.
I think part of the AI thing is for people like that. Because like, I'm sure, like when you see something AI on our level, most of the time you can say, okay, well, that looked like a PlayStation video or something like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's, but if you have AI on that top tier level, you know what I'm saying? Like people could say it's not real. It's AI. It's not real. Like AI becomes the excuse for video footage now.
But the whole thing is the expense that it takes. You think they're gonna fucking use that money to make?
Bro, if you can afford to
fucking
hop on your own jet and head off to Cape Verde or wherever the hell he's at,
right?
They'll spend the money to not go to jail, yo.
Come on.
Of course,
that's
what's
what's
going on.
making black people porn. Snap into a Slim Jim. Ticket.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yo, did you hear that audio? It's disturbing,
yes.
yo.
I could only hear it once.
I didn't listen to it. I dodged that bullet.
Bro, it sounds like something in jail, bro.
I was about to say
Right.
it sounded like late nights on the tier. You know what I'm saying? And you hear it, but you don't want to be part of it.
That's how Meek Mill sounded on that.
Right.
Oh shit!
Oh, that shit. Okay. All right. I'm stopping right there.
That ain't.
I don't even want to talk about.
I never
that
experienced that tape ever, and I'm glad.
Horrible.
It was
Right.
disturbing. That was
Yeah,
some
it was
pretty
very-
fucked up shit.
You can't
Yeah,
undo
that
some
was.
shit, yo. So that's why I'm just like, nope, no, thank you.
Well, here's the thing. You know, Diddy was his drug mule, as they called it, got caught with some pink cocaine. I didn't know they had pink cocaine.
I don't know. Is that stuff good?
Apparently.
Okay.
I only like the smell.
I mean,
Yeah, how does
Diddy
it
did
smell?
yeah, it smells good.
Smells great, baby.
Right.
So-
It's got an energetic aroma.
But they called this man a drug. That's good. That's a good one.
Very
They called this
inviting.
man a drug mule, which a drug mule is just a person that carries drugs for you, and then if they get arrested, they just don't rap.
I always thought a mule was when it came to drugs, was somebody that uses the annals of the body to carry stuff.
That could be part of it.
They use the butler's entry.
Yeah. The tradesman entrance.
Right. The old service route.
Well, he's already bailed out. The guy that had the cocaine or whatever.
Right.
Tambourine boy. And let's just keep it 100,000% real, guys. P. Diddy hasn't been arrested for shit as of right now.
Well, of course.
Well, because he got on a plane and dipped off to a country with no extradition.
They took his phone before he left. So if they were going to arrest him, they had an opportunity to do so right then and there on the tarmac at the airport, and they didn't. That's how they caught the white boy with the cocaine. So they could have took him. They had an opportunity, but they didn't. And that's what stuck out to me. Why wouldn't you?
Well, they raided
but that's
after
what I'm
the
saying.
fact, though, right?
No. That was all going on at the same time. They raiding the houses, they catching them at the airport, the drugs on the little white kid, on everything. It's all going on simultaneously. It was a coordinated attack. So if that was the case, why didn't they just lock them up if they were doing all that? They still looking.
For the same reason Agent Orange or President 45 ain't got locked up yet. When you come for the king, you better not miss.
He had to go to the jail and go in and take some pictures.
Once for all the things that he's being charged for once.
But see, those are a lot of those. I feel what you're saying on that. But he did have to go. Diddy ain't he had to go. Not for once, not for nothing.
I feel
he didn't go.
I feel you. So they probably making sure all their stuff is lined up.
They still looking.
Of course.
Because at this point, if you can kick the door in, you damn sure can start questioning people.
Yeah, but they don't
It ain't
raid.
as simple as you think.
Yo, the feds don't raid unless they got something.
That's my whole point.
They can't
so
raid.
why would they not take the subject that they're looking for?
Because he gave him a couple dollars.
Right, and they waiting for it until it's airtight, man.
Or maybe they was at them parties.
Everybody knows it's better when it's tighter. Even Diddy knows that.
Oh my God!
You can't handle the truth.
Stop.
What?
Stop that.
What happened?
No, you heard what happened.
You heard what he said.
You heard what the fuck he said. So, nonetheless, if the shit wasn't airtight, it wouldn't be at the house
raiding shit. Why? Because if they do that and they don't arrest him, he becomes an immediate flight risk. He can leave the country. They didn't take his passport, they took his cell phone. He can still fucking leave. So they really, I don't know what they're trying to do, but that's not how they do shit when they don't want a person to get away. See what I'm saying? They doing something.
I think that maybe we've got some of this wrong.
No, we got a lot of, there's a lot going on that we don't know about. That's true.
I mean. Yeah. I agree with you on that. I'm gonna let all these chips fall where they may, and
give it a few more weeks. Because I've been trying to look at the police reports and shit, and they got all types of charges, accessories to murder, and all types of stuff going on.
Give it a few more weeks. Like I have a choice. No, I want justice now.
I want to know now.
No, I'm gonna tell you one thing.
My Diddy, and I want to know now.
Hey, mess around with Jimmy Iovine if you want.
Who, me?
Mess around with Iovine if you want. Because they went back and forth with the, like Diddy brought the charges with the unnamed person charges on him, and it was going back and forth till somebody said
he's losing his endorsements. He's losing right now, but I don't really think it's going to be all that. A lot of the stuff that I was looking at. Maybe he did pay some people to come to his freak offs, but he didn't directly pay them for sex. If they got involved in something while he was there, that's consenting adults doing that. So I don't know how he's
what about the dope he was putting in the drinks of the underage?
Maybe they're just trying to bleed him
Show
before
me toxicology reports. Other than that, that's just the people talking.
Bravo, what did you say?
I said maybe they just trying to bleed him before they break him. That's because he's been on top. He's been on top for so long, and that he in his own parties has been.
He's a power bottom. He's a power bottom.
Exactly, and so maybe they just try to make an example out of him.
Shit, Nick.
Well, shit. Right.
Let's talk about Stevie J though. Yeah.
Oh man, well we all knew Stevie J was a little,
Say it.
He plays games. No, I didn't say anything. I just say we all know Stevie J plays.
Stevie J got the Bill Cosby face when he be like,
right. And so Stevie J. Because what was his lady's name? Was it Jocelyn?
Yeah.
Wasn't that his girlfriend?
Jocelyn Cabaret.
His lady's name was Bruce.
She said he was into all types of freaky stuff with her. Like she would be putting stuff in his butt and everything.
Well, now you do know that they said Kim Porter was putting in her book that Diddy had requested her monthly women juice and he would store it and that they would digest it at these rituals.
What?
He did the same thing to Cassidy.
Hold on, whoa. So taking period blood and making Bloody Marys with the shit? Is that what you're saying?
They were digesting that monthly juice at these rituals.
It's a coincidence that she was never able to finish writing about it because she died.
Right. Guess they were really thirsty.
So were they at least, putting it in like in a drink?
Did they at least mix some Tang in that bitch?
Yeah, I wasn't there. I wasn't there, yeah.
Well, from your sources,
did they put a Ciroc on it?
Did they at least give a nigga a straw?
My source is from
Tabasco, maybe?
Yo, my source is from fucking TikTok, so you know it's good. Okay, it's credible.
Right.
Yeah, TikTok.
It's the truth.
Allegedly, this is one of the things. Kim Porter knew the location of these underground meetings that they were doing and stuff, and she was going to
do satanic rituals with.
I'm not saying satanic, but it sounds like it. But yes, so I'm assuming
rituals. Let's just say rituals.
I don't know how much comes out of there, but. I mean,
it takes a couple of supers and
you go to a sperm bank, they're like, yeah, let me get 10 ounces. 10 ounces? I don't have the time.
Oh, jeez.
That would be like next 20 month. Times.
Right. I hope you pay by the salary.
But one would wonder if people, I'm not saying that just because people have money that they're intelligent, but you got to be on something. If you are at a high-end meeting like that, and that's what they're doing, that makes you kind of wonder what's really going on with religion, because religion can be evil or good. But I would say you got to know something if you're willing to digest period juice. You done seen or met somebody.
No, I just think that they just fucked up.
Somebody.
I just think that they're fucked up, and I just think that once somebody gets to a certain level that they cannot relate to the man next to them because they feel like they're on a different level to them, they make up some shit. They make up some shit to fucking follow.
Diddy was very close to a lot of people.
Right.
Ross and all them, man. Watch it come out that he was hitting off Ross too, man. Or Ross was doing something. I told you when Rick Ross put in that song and he put something in somebody's drink and then took it home and enjoyed that, and she ain't even know it, and we just let that fly. I mean,
we ain't let it fly. What can we do about it?
He was like, oh, did he just? Yeah, he did. Okay. So when that comes out later, and then they bring up his lyrics at the damn trial like they do with other rappers that say something.
Speaking of that, I'd like to take it back to a year I'd like to call 1988. And here's a quote for you. You ready? You might be young, but you're ready. What, sir?
Right. Yeah, they've been telling you all this time, man.
Yeah, and
they've been telling you.
Did you hear the joint? They said Aaron Hall came in. Aaron Hall came in after Puffy did it to somebody and then just did it to him, and then like they were just on it.
That's a wild bunch.
That's what I was about to say. They were just a lot of wild stuff, but they weren't the only ones doing it. Everybody's guilty. If y'all bringing people into the situation, you guilty. If you in the room and they start doing this and you don't step out or just, like oppose, you part of it.
Right.
You
I don't know if I'm just
now.
able just to sit in a room just with fucking in general. You know what I mean? That's just how are you supposed to concentrate on your conversation if there's like some balls and shit swinging over there?
You know what?
I don't know, maybe I'm a grown up.
I stand solid on that topic because I was in Germany with the military, and on Sunday, my first sergeant had asked me to go to her church. So I go to the church. The sermon is amazing, but they did an altar call. And so nobody came up to join the church, but they said, we're going to just pray. And so the preacher said, I'd like everybody to start speaking in tongue. And so the whole church is speaking in tongue at the same time, but it started to sound like, it was this uncomfortable like, at the time I was married, I grabbed the wife at the time and my child. I said, we're leaving. Let's go right now. Ain't nothing good coming from this.
Nope.
It was scary, bro.
No. Because sometimes you just gotta not see a thing or not be around a thing. Sometimes you just gotta remove yourself.
Diddy's house, just like Cat Williams said, you gotta be able to tell P. Diddy no.
I'm leaving immediately after I steal the silverware.
Drop a couple upper deckers.
This is the thing. You got to remember, this is a very, very, very well-connected person.
Yeah, he blows up cars and shit, allegedly.
Before he goes down, there's going to be layers of other people that would have to speak first.
So you're saying he's Black Epstein? Is that what you're saying?
I'm kind of
allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
I believe that. That's why I think. That's why I think you're like, all right, let's let him be out there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Let's let him be out there. Let's let community justice happen. Or let the world know we're on to him.
Or he paid some people and he already knew all this was going down anyway. You think that after all these years of being fully connected with these different systems, having undercover police dealing with their security and things like that he might not have a little insight that the feds was on to him?
All I know is that I know that for a fact, it's inevitable that there's going to be somebody with more money than him that hates him. So, I'm just going to say.
But that doesn't mean he doesn't get a heads up from the people that,
but I'm telling you that eventually in the long run, he is not going to win.
I don't think he's going to lose. I think he's got too many layers. Even the drug mule.
I think the losing is. I think the losing has already begun. I think it's the tip.
What's he losing?
I'll just say this real quick. Shine is the friend of the year.
Why? Because he ain't saying nothing.
Because Shine did, 10 years or something for him?
10 years, yeah.
Friend of the year.
Over what?
Friend of the decade, literally.
Yeah.
Something he didn't even really do. But somebody had to go down. That's why I'm saying Puff's not going to, or Diddy or whatever the hell his name is these days, is not going down because there's too many other people that were involved in stuff that he already knows they're going to be the fall guy. You saw the clip. He said he'd be mind fucking people. And in his opinion, mind fucking people is when he's in control, lets them think they're in control, and the whole time he's just pulling the damn strings. That's what he's been doing. And he's been telling people, this is what I do.
Okay. I will agree with you that he may not go down in a court of law, but he will go down with Meek Mill now.
Yeah, all fours.
No, I was just joking. No, what happened is he won't, but somebody's going to snipe him. That's it. He's out of here. So,
okay, well, we didn't want to say that.
They're going to pick him off, yo. He's done. Jimmy Iovine's boys. They're going to take him out. Yo, he's done.
You can't give him the Black Epstein charge and only give him half of it. Yo, just the problems and not the mysterious murder.
Right. Mysterious disappearances and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I'll put it this way. They are exposing all of the dirtiness that is our entertainment group. And it just seems like it's always the ones at the top that be the dirtiest.
Well, I'm also tell you this.
Yeah.
If, let's just say, because we were saying earlier, okay, all of the facts aren't, we might not have all of the facts. So, you know, there's more to this story than we know about him just being able to get to Cape Verde or whatever, however you call it.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't do something, then the United States has now openly admitted, yes, we cannot pull you from that country. So now the United States has said, okay, you can go there if you screw up, and we can't do nothing about it.
Yeah, but we already know that. There's non-extradition countries.
Hear me out. What I'm saying is somebody's going to have a big briefcase full of money, and somebody is going to actually stop this time. It ain't going to be, I thought I told you. Because you're not coming back to the States with that mess. This ain't, and they implicating Chris Brown too.
Yeah. But see, this is the other thing. They brought Chris Brown into it, but this is also alleging things years ago when he was younger.
Also, I want all of you rappers and, you know, anybody that's an artist in this industry to really, really think about the name you choose for what you do. Because this label is called Bad Boy. Okay?
And his name was Puff when it started.
Puff, bro. Puff. That's been suspect. It's been suspect.
He told you a long time. He told you
he did the Dolly My Baby joint, but Supercat was like, who's what?
Right.
Puff.
Yo, he told you at the very beginning, yo, and y'all ain't listen.
Oh man. Well,
this man's name was Puff Daddy. Think of that as a verb and a subject.
Yeah, we're gonna give it a minute to see what else comes out, but there's already accessory to Yeah, there's already accessory to murder charges.
You said that to Kim Porter.
Human trafficking charges. And you know how human trafficking works, right? We're not going. I'm still just going to keep going because you're trying to take me to a place. But with human trafficking, it's as simple as this: if you offer a person money to come and do something, and they travel across state lines to do it, you just traffic the human.
Wait a minute, hold up now, because right now, as we speak, dudes are sending girls tickets. That, to have a romance or something on Facebook. Is that human trafficking?
Yes, sir.
That's sex trafficking. If you're paying somebody, if you're buying them a ticket to come see you, and you to smash with the intent to smash,
with the intent to do something sexual,
that's interstate sex trafficking. Yes,
that's the next Facebook post because these dudes like I'm in a Kevin Samuels group, and this is a topic all the time. Like dudes will make. They'll be like, I paid a girl to come over to that, from wherever she lives to come see me or whatever. And then she wouldn't have sex with me. So instead of her getting another plane ticket back, I gave her a bus ticket or something. You know, like they're like long stories that end up in jokes like that. But I don't think these guys know that it's sex trafficking because I had no idea. I just learned that, I was today years old.
Whether they smash or not, if that's the intent, that's still it.
Yeah. And that's how easy it is to get.
So what if you fly to go see somebody?
You're not sex trafficking
yourself.
No. Only if they.
That's called a date.
If I fly myself out to somebody, that's different.
So if she buys her own ticket, she sex trafficked herself.
Handle the truth. It's just called being thirsty.
Right.
So nonetheless, for all legal purposes,
don't buy no bitch no plane ticket.
Yeah.
No. Don't do it. Bad idea.
But that's only, you got to also understand that that's only if there has been a previously established idea that it is for the purposes specifically of sexual activity. So if it's like, hey, I fly you out and we see what happens, and that's what you say, and then it don't happen and you mad, that's not sex trafficking.
What you think all the pics
but
is
if,
for?
if you go on like a site and there's women selling pussy.
No. No. What I was talking about in these groups, it's nothing but dialogue between men and women. Either they're shitting on each other, saying women ain't shit or men ain't shit, or they have these happy moments where they're telling these stories about like, so old girl was supposed to come see dude or whatever, and they'll start clowning them. Yo, you tricking, because he would buy her a plane ticket to come see you. You know.
Well, let them know he was sex.
And vice versa, because women are buying these guys tickets as well.
Yep.
This needs to be put out there because they redefined the term pimping with that.
Right. They did that.
You ain't going to jail for being no pimp. You going up the road forever for being a sex trafficker.
For sex trafficking. So basically, you just got to either, fly to with your own money or pick a chick in your area.
Right.
But you bringing them across the state line on a flight is technically sexual trafficking.
Oh,
I'm sure Diddy was flying people all over the place, so that's how they going to get them.
That's how they getting your boy Tate as well, because he was getting those models to do the.
There you go. Andrew Tate's another one.
To get those sex cams, even though there isn't sex happening.
It was all consensual. Those women did not have an issue.
It's considered sex work, and he bought the plane ticket, so that's trafficking.
Yep.
So that's why it's bullshit when they getting them on. For real.
And that's why I don't think Diddy is going to go down. It's because it's going to be shit like that. And he's going to have a bunch of people who were the
you're
middlemen.
overlooking the murder charges.
Right. Am I? Murder doesn't have a statute of limitations. I get that. But where's the real evidence? At this point,
he ate a human child. No, he didn't eat a human child.
No, he didn't do that. Anything at this point is just hearsay. There's no new evidence.
Especially the ass rape stuff.
Right. It's always the ass rape stuff.
I mean, don't forget about the ass rape.
Yeah, that's very important.
It's tough.
You know what I mean? It always comes back to bite you.
Well, I don't know if there was a lot of. I heard about the one guy who was like, I guess, an assistant, and then he would like pay people to have sex with him, and
Farnsworth Bentley.
Not that guy, but I think Farnsworth went through something like that, and that's why he stopped.
Working with Diddy. Yeah,
he stopped hanging out with him and went straight to Atlanta, where all the straight guys go.
Right.
Yeah, and enjoyed his straight life there.
Right.
Sorry, I'm just playing. So, I got family out there.
So just to let you know, my opinion, this is my early opinion, just based on information, they're going to throw a lot of charges at him, but he's going to have enough people in places, like that drug mule guy. Like, this guy's carrying a drug. So, drug possession is number one. You got to possess it. So he could just act like, I didn't know this guy was getting on the plane with that. Because he didn't have to go through TSA. It was going around the side on the tarmac.
That mule is going to sing a
you
song
know what that tells
people.
me? That tells me that he's not as good as he thinks. Because why don't you just have drugs waiting for you if you that rich?
I don't think they have pink cocaine everywhere. I don't even know what that is.
Well,
I was like,
you know what? Dine locally. Eat what's fresh. Eat what's in season.
But sometimes, just to be honest, that can be tough. Fly to a place, you're the superstar. You got to send somebody to go out into the town.
It's worth the try. It's worth the freedom.
Right. Exactly. Especially if you're fucking with someplace like Singapore.
It only determines how long you're going to be there. I mean, if you have a problem with dope and you go somewhere and nobody can score, you're not going to be there very long.
Right.
But you own a fucking jet, man. How about go to Bolivia?
Right.
You won't have no problem finding that shit down there.
But see, he's also worried about people seeing that it's him doing it.
I know we're supposed to go to Colorado, but we have to make a quick stop in Amsterdam, really quick. I don't know. Blame the pilot. I didn't log the flight plan. It wasn't me. But since we're there.
Fake news.
So we'll wait and see. But I'm just, like I said, my bold prediction is
they're going to get Diddy. The reason why I know they're going to get him is because they want to get him. Because anybody that has secrets that valuable, they're going to earth. It just is what it is. They can't have somebody on the lower tier, even though to us, Diddy's top tier, but they got the top guys, got somebody who's on a lower tier that is a threat to them. It's not going to last long.
They're going to publicly pull his teeth, man. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
They're pulling his power publicly, so he can't. So even if he never does a day, all of his relationships will be destroyed.
Everything.
So
that's kind of fucked up.
No, that's kind of how they do it.
I mean, bro, if he did any of these things, how can you care?
Yeah, if he's really just a monster and, it is what it is, he deserves to be thrown under the jail. But if he's getting caught up on the fact that he was flying chicks out, like a lot of dudes do and stuff like that for parties and events that he was doing, and then they end up having sex and now it's trafficking.
It's not the fact that they were chicks, so to speak. It's the fact that they allegedly were underage chicks. That's the problem.
And what's not in the documents is the whole fact that this rapper we know called Biggie Smalls got murdered after 3 days of talking about leaving his contract. That's not on the paperwork.
Not yet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, gentlemen, that
I gotta
is
go.
The bullshit. Yeah, that's the bullshit. That's the bullshit. See, I'm trying to say the bullshit. You told me
I'm sorry.
Which I do have to go, but I was trying to.
No, you gotta go.
I do have to go. That's why I was closing it out with the bullshit.
You're fired.
So I hope you guys are ready for whatever this P. Diddy shitstorm turns into.
Oh, it was a shitstorm, all right.
Yeah, it definitely was. I just really... Yo, stop. I don't ever want to hear that tape again.
Are you guys hearing these sound effects?
Yes, I'm hearing them quite well. They are very loud.
I'm glad they are. I wanted to really bring that on.
Yeah, doing double.
All right, look, I'm sorry for being mean.
So, guys, I got sent a clip of an officer.
Blood.
I just bench pressed my father's side of the family on a stick.
Yeah, you got to, man.
Well, you got to. This is what I got to tell y'all, right? We have been getting a lot of flack for these law enforcement videos of officers behaving badly.
See, I don't understand that because it's them doing it, and we talk about it like we're the bad ones, like we're the person in the video doing the wrong thing. Like,
because see, you know what's even worse is if we were to just agree with what they're doing.
Oh my God.
So I can only imagine what I'm about to witness. But you know what? For this night, I'm gonna agree with her.
Maybe that nigga needed whooping. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with this lady was tripping.
Well, it's right on the screen, so I guess we're starting from that, and we got to work our way back.
I don't trust nobody who ponytail look like that, yeah. But tonight,
that's a lazy ponytail. It's not even high up. It's like it's low. Like you did the least amount of effort.
Yeah.
Like you leaned on a counter to hold your elbow.
She didn't even brush her teeth this morning. She just woke up, licked them, and got out of bed and went to work.
Okay. Right. Well, Officer Karen
gargling mouthwash is not brushing your teeth.
Yeah. She approached some folks in a parking lot who were apparently
like some minty shit.
They were apparently doing some work. Like they were working.
That
and
motherfucker
Officer
look like
Terry-
that one comedian on Instagram, yo. I forget what his
was
name
it Ha Davis?
Ha
yo?
Davis. That's exactly
Yep,
what
he
he
does look
like.
him. Initially, I thought it was a Ha Davis
Like,
skit, but then I realized it was not.
Punches.
Right. Let's recoup. You know what I'm saying? It's time to regroup. That shit. Yeah, that did. He's funny as shit. I'd love to have him as a guest on this show. He'd be funny as shit as a guest.
Right.
Anyway, let me show y'all the video real quick, all right? Check this out.
Watch as these workers again offer to give the officer their supervisor's contact information, which is exactly what she was asking for just a couple of minutes ago.
He has a razor sharp chin.
Is that what you want? You contact our supervisor. It sounds like that was doing.
Who you work for? That's all I'm asking.
Okay, my name is Jeffrey Geist.
I am not speaking to you.
I'm talking to you.
Speaking to you. I will be looking at you.
Y'all so hostile, Miss Lady.
When the banshee
This guy
shrills.
realizes he's just having a circular argument, and he brings out something that really upsets Officer Karen, his constitutional rights.
We don't have it over there.
Okay.
She does not have.
How about
she
this?
does not
Until
have
your
her
supervisor
husband.
get here,
I
I'm
don't have
going
a
to
supervisor
invoke my
now.
Fifth Amendment. Now, if you want to arrest me, you can do that. I'm sorry you have to go like this.
I'm pleading the
For me not
fifth.
protecting his rights. You want me to
What? To identify
Okay, no,
yourself?
to plead the fifth
Identify
because I have not
who-
committed a crime.
In the end, Officer Karen had no reason for her stop, and she knew it. The best defense she could offer is that it would have been so much easier if this guy had just submitted to her authority and not made such a scene.
So it was his fault. Is
It
what
was
she
That
said.
nigga had a big head. That's why the camera was
It
so
was his
close.
fault.
That shit got pulled in by
It
gravity.
was whose fault? The
It was
guy's
his
fault?
fucking fault. We haven't seen the rest of the video. We don't know who he was molesting.
I mean, he was obviously wrong. You saw that he was black, right?
He was black. Yeah.
So
Well,
you know,
and you know, and that's the thing. He was a black person in a neighborhood working.
with a fresh shape up and a very trim beard.
That's where he went wrong. Being clean cut
Motherfucker was on point.
He had the vest on
with the work. No, she was right.
And the walkie-talkie.
All right, we're not pandering to the damn commenters over
No,
here
I'm
with
saying this is what they want us to do. They want us
All
to
right,
look at
well-
some bullshit like that. Say, well, we didn't
and
see
be
the
like,
rest of the
well, he didn't comply.
Right.
And that's the problem.
I'm not
He
even
didn't
going to
comply.
address her as Officer Karen. It's like Officer Beverly.
And the reason why
Shovel Chin was
Definitely.
in the right. Was in the right.
She was
because-
in the right.
Because I'm sorry, I misspoke. She was into white. So obviously she was correct.
She was
You know
right.
what I mean? Because black men were on a job site and being studious and efficient at doing their job. So that can't be real. So there's got to be something fishy.
It's AI.
Fishy going on.
It's AI.
Right.
Well, nonetheless, man.
It was
Watch, we're gonna get you guys are
IRL.
assholes anyway.
Yeah. Well, you know what we say. Fuck them comments.
Yeah. They
No, I
gonna
don't
find
say
a
that
reason
'cause
to disagree with us.
I don't need them
Disagree
comments
with
to
me.
hate me
I
any
do.
more than they do already. Because
Well,
they
the
People
truth
disagree
is
with me
this.
anyway.
That is some pretty fucked up shit.
You know what really grinds my gears?
Can you say what the fuck did I do last night?
No, bad idea.
Bust 3 shots for the purge, never cheap shots for the purge. You taking cheap shots for the burn. We got the streets watching the purge, making weed hot in return. Haters on the sideline, keep watching, observe. Keeping company with ops on the curb. We not for the herbs like celery, rocking the burbs. Brother, we clocking and earn, locking and turn.
Good evening, cowards. Rick Hubbard, 97 Spruce Lane. Nice to see you.
In a world where you and I both believe in that weekly lie of a paycheck you gave me.
Damn. Isn't that the world we live in? The BS continues. Welcome to Purge of the BS. It is happening again. It's nonstop. It's every week. It's every day. It's the BS. It comes trickling down. It's too much. So every time, y'all know what I gotta do. I gotta call the boys, Brix and Bravo, to help me sift through this. Gentlemen, would you join me in another Purge of the BS? Please.
Why that?
Pretty please.
Yeah, why not?
Pretty pretty.
guys.
I was a little heavy this week, man. You know, I felt something in my heart for these, you know, for the 9-to-5ers.
Right.
For these wages.
Yeah. Right. Well, you know
it's
what?
Funny how you earn wages and they also wage war. There's something about that.
Right.
You know, we're gonna go real serious, real fast, huh? Okay. We went right there. Well, while we're there,
because I know there's a God somewhere.
Let's just thank all of the new subscribers. The Purge of the BS is officially 1 year old. So we're gonna give it up for that.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for all of the
give it up for that. Yeah.
Happy Purge Day to you, gentlemen.
Happy Purge Day.
Yes, I'd like to thank y'all for the growth.
Yeah. We appreciate
That's
how you
what
help
she
us grow.
said.
Yeah. So, as we move into another Purge of the BS, we have to keep all things in mind. And I have to bring you my baddie in the bright lights.
Oh, all right.
I'm going to tell you right now, this is a musician. You know,
what's his name?
You guys know. Not that we discriminate per se, but this segment is not for the men. We have other things. I mean, it's for the men. But it's not. You know what I'm saying? You know.
I don't know. You're dancing dangerously close to it.
I'm trying to make sure I don't fall in the hole. You know what I'm saying? So,
yikes. So,
all right. Without further ado,
male baddies.
No. This ain't that kind of show, bro. This ain't that kind of show.
What trying to clarify
actually is, though, is for the real baddies.
No, she is
Now, I don't know if you guys know about this one right here. She did that song Water. This is Tyler. She did that song Water that was like the most viral song, I think, within the last year. All the ladies were using it. They were doing a dance to it. It was a whole thing, right? I'm not into trendy videos and trendy dances. I'm not really into all of that like that. Like, I don't really learn every dance. So I didn't know that this woman is immensely talented.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, her voice. Yeah. I'm trying to tell you, I didn't know. It came down my timeline. Somebody's like, look, you need to check this one out. And I was like, oh, okay, she's pretty. I saw that.
She is anti-ugly.
Yeah, she's very pretty, but vocally, she has a really mature sound. If
I
that
remixed that song.
Yeah, and that song, like I said, it was a really good song. But her project is coming out real soon. I've been checking out the EP, and now they got the full project coming out, I think this week or something like that. So
yeah.
Make sure y'all check that out as well, because I done checked out a few songs and I'm a fan now. I'm telling you right now, I know good music. This woman's making some good music and I appreciate it. I want to give a hand up for my baddie in the bright lights right now.
I real clap, but I'm not sharing.
Okay. Well, you know what?
He clapped, but his hands are busy.
Yeah.
So recently they did a remix.
Don't you make fun of how I wash myself.
Did a remix.
We just warming the juices up. That's
Have y'all heard the Water song? Did you? I mean,
you
Brix said
he did
Yeah, Brix said he did the remix to it. Bravo, have you heard that song? It's real catchy.
I can't recall it, but if it was catchy, I probably heard it at some point.
Oh, it was super duper catchy, and so that's why I even remembered it. But I didn't know this was the singer of it.
If you go to YouTube, shameless plug.
Yes.
And you look up top 10 Afro beats of, current Afro beats, she's in there.
Oh, she's definitely in there. She's doing that, and she's killing it. The music it's not even like, it's not goofy. The lyrics are good. Is whoever's writing for her is well thought out. Her voice delivers well.
I gotta be honest, man. She looks like
man.
She doesn't wake up with morning breath. Like she just wakes up, just lick them and go.
Yeah, she definitely is absolutely gorgeous, and
she's really
has
cute.
a voice to match. She has a voice to match. Though I don't want everybody to just get caught up in the fact that we said the girl is pretty, because we are also music people,
right?
So we want to highlight more so the music, but the eyes want to see, oh, she's pretty, and that brings you in. But the truth is, go listen to the music.
Right.
And then you will see how pretty she really is. I'm telling you, she's bad.
Oh, definitely. I really love the come up that Afrobeat is having over the last 6-7 years.
Oh yeah.
I've really been digging that. That is so dope. And speaking of that, I saw one of the coolest but scariest things ever. I saw the Tiny Desk concert with Burna Boy. You know Burna Boy?
Oh, yeah, I remixed him too this year.
It was he's really good, but he looks like his name is Burna Boy. Like he looks like he looked like everybody. He murdered absolutely everyone before he came in. Wow. That dude looks like he's the truth. And he doesn't smile when he's performing, and he's getting into it, but he doesn't smile. He looked like he is all of that business.
No, his music, like I saw this one record, I can't remember what the title of the record was called, but he's in like this, what do you call it when there's like a space in the middle of a house that's outside? Like a,
it's like what's that called? A vestibule or something like that?
Is that a courtyard?
Courtyard. Yeah.
But it's like
in the house.
But it's huge, and it kind of looks like Mesa, like whatever that, that Mexican type.
Yeah.
Bro, that shit tribal as hell. It's like war music. Like when you hear him go at it, like you feel your ancestors. Right. Like Nat Turner was like listening to the iPod before.
Like, yeah.
What you listening to? I'm listening to that Burna Boy.
I have a lot of faith. I have a lot of faith in the fact that music in its authenticity is gonna make a nice move in the next few years. I think we've oversaturated the market with the ratchetness and the bullshit, and to have a breath of fresh air like this girl come in and she's doing like music and she's still fresh in the game. So that means that people are going to see her as the role model. You know what I'm saying? And follow that as an example in Afrobeat. I'm telling you, she's bad.
In the R&B game,
she's bad.
I hope that the trend somehow leans back to the I need a throat lozenge vocals, like David Ruffin. Like,
exactly. But that's
in my mind, like I want to hear that.
Yeah, but ain't nobody in love like that no more. Nobody
has the patience to be in love no more. Nobody has the patience to be in love no more.
I get that, but at the same time, there was a Sodom and Gomorrah, and then there was not.
Tell you right now,
history.
This girl is that.
I wouldn't say she's
I'm telling you,
and participating in satanic rituals.
No. I'm saying that she is the breath of fresh air.
Right. So I'm glad you said that, because there was a music conference that it was a secret conference that happened down in Atlanta. I say about 6 or 7 months ago, and it was at a country club, and no one knew about it. I wasn't invited, but I heard from several people that actually got to go. What they're now trying to gear towards is talent-based music, because the industry, like all of these conglomerates, have given everybody FL Studio or, whatever app you can get or DAW you can use, but at a very inexpensive price. But it's to the point where all of these apps and VSTs are geared towards you not having to have any talent to come up with a great product. Well, they're gearing towards people that can actually sing, people that can actually play instruments now. And we headed for something great, but I wonder if they're going to still continue to manipulate the topics.
Definitely.
Of course.
Definitely.
That's business.
Because that's called publishing's rights. You know what I mean?
Right.
If we're gonna pay to put it out there, we're gonna have a right to to tweak what you say.
But you did see this recent court case, because right now what's in the I think they're getting paid 0.008. So per stream. 0.008 cents per stream.
On Spotify.
But on all platforms.
Yeah.
They vary. They actually vary. Tidal's supposed to be the highest one, and
I get it. But what I'm saying is this law that they're dealing with in Congress right now, they're trying to get artists paid their worth now.
Mm-hmm.
Like 0.008.
Wow.
That's ridiculous.
That's less than a penny.
Another issue that I have with the music industry right now is the
no shit.
You know, the music industry now it's considered corny for you to drop your producer tag now. But my question is,
on the music?
Yeah, like like Botch's Brick House, or Metro Boomin, all of that. Because think about when you listen to a Drake album, you don't hear a producer drop.
Because it's always 40.
Yeah,
it's always 40.
When he did
I understand that, but my point is, but where can you find credits now? You ever look at Spotify? A lot of artists, like let's say local artists. So, you know what? Let's just say famous artists. Like if you go to a Michael Jackson song, you will see credits.
Yeah, no liner notes. Right.
Exactly. Like let's say you produced a record with somebody, with some artist named Magnef. It'll just say Magnef, and then it'll say produced by, and it'll be a blank entry.
A blank entry?
Credits no more. Yeah. They're not even filling out the, you know what I'm saying? So you can't say your tag, you're not getting credits. How do you come up? How does one say, hey, wait a minute, that beat is dope. Who made that?
Right. And you can't go look for it. You got to somehow get in touch with the artist who you can't get in touch with.
You can go look for it, but if you're not a member, you won't find it. So, for example, if I produced a record and my pro is BMI, if you're not a member of BMI, how you gonna find out who produced it?
Right.
So,
yeah. Well,
it's a crying shame.
It is a crying shame. Speaking of crying shames, guys, I have to address a misspoken word from a previous episode.
Did Mike Tyson not say the shit?
No, Mike Tyson.
It wasn't. No, Mike Tyson did say it. He did say it.
That wasn't even a debate, but it was a debate only because I believe Bravo so much that when he said the shit, I had to doubt my own shit when I had looked the shit up the whole time. But sans Mike Tyson. This was about Elon Musk. He's still been dealing with that Don Lemon situation.
Right.
I had mentioned something. He's still going at it with Don Lemon, you know what I'm saying? So
hot and heavy?
Yeah, hot and heavy. They still going back and forth. So we had talked about
still
that.
Swapping with Lemon, huh?
Right. Whistling in the wheat fields.
I tried not to. It wasn't even about that. It was literally about the drug situation.
Mm-hmm.
I had gotten some misinformation. I said that this drug that he was asked about, Elon Musk was asked about, was propofol when it was actually ketamine. It was ketamine.
Shit. Man, whatever happened to ketamine?
Yeah, ketamine, which is basically anesthesia that they put you under to do surgeries.
I believe it's a horse tranquilizer. I think it's a horse tranquilizer, isn't it? Ketamine.
It's probably all of that.
I know. What was that movie? Fear and Loathing. I know they was doing ketamine in that goddamn.
Okay.
movie.
And
that's when they had the wiggle. That's when they had those wiggly legs and shit walking across the street.
So,
oh my God.
Here's the thing. He has a prescription for this ketamine, and so it was a little bit out of line for Don Lemon to really ask about a medical prescription. That would be, that's kind of PII, so to speak. So he was a little out of line.
It's not OSHA. What is that?
HIPAA.
Yeah,
that's a HIPAA violation.
Yeah.
And that, first and foremost, he shouldn't really have asked about it if he knew it was a prescribed medicine. It'd be different if they were talking about
maybe
illicit.
He didn't know. Maybe he didn't know. Maybe he was asking.
He did. He already knew that.
Well, my question is, how did he know?
Because he did the research.
My question is, what do you need to have to get prescribed ketamine?
I was about to say that.
Are we going to get a HIPAA violation for discussing this man's prescription?
No, sir. It's already out on the internet. We're reacting to public information.
Ketamine comes in a briefcase with other assortments of dope, like cocaine, heroin.
But because of the federal government, it is a Schedule 3 narcotic substance. But check this out. Think about this.
Marijuana is still Schedule 1, by the way.
Thank you, Bravo. You taking me right where I was going,
Elon
man.
Musk is goddamn getting prescribed ketamine. It's cool.
Right. And it is what it is.
And
it's
I gotta check $1 billion, nigga.
Motherfucker get pulled over with a suitcase full of super Valium and goes right home.
But he basically did at least confirm what we were saying about, rest. Like he needs it to calm down so he can relax and rest. But, what kind of rest?
Maybe he just needs to lay off the coke.
Yo. You know it's anesthesia, right? Like somebody could take your stomach out and sit it next to you and you won't even, you know what I'm saying? Like that's a bit stronger than some
Benadryl. Is the man next to you.
Right, man. Lock all the doors before you take this stuff. Jeez.
So those drugs will knock you out and it'll get your guts moved around? Is that what you said? I'm just trying to...
Whoa. See?
I'm trying to...
They're going to start to think that we have an issue. If they're going to start to think that we have a negative affirmation towards people of that style. Okay?
You talking about the Tambourine Boys?
Yeah. That crew. And so
I'd like to make it less obvious, please.
Cut that shit out.
Okay. Well, I mean, don't say I didn't say it. They just eventually they're going to show up in the comments with all types of emojis and caps and everything.
Full force. I'm like, I didn't even know they had an emoji for that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
They put emojis together.
You know what? I'm glad you brought this up.
Really?
Because look, it's like this. Fuck all that.
So profound.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I'm saying, look. Okay.
All right.
All right. There's got to be a point where you have to understand certain things are generation. It just is what it is. Like when Biden says something like, he's addressing the American people and he goes to sleep or walks the wrong way. He's 80 years old. We're not out here hate criming anyone. We're just telling you what we're not. I'm not an emo.
I 100% feel you. You know that.
And because I know, but I'm saying because I know you're not an emo, I'm going to remind you that you are. Every chance I get. When you say some emo shit.
That wasn't emo shit.
Oh,
why are you doing that? Why are you doing that?
Nah, I just do a quick whatever, man. I just pulled it out of a hat.
You pulled it out. Okay.
I pulled it out of a hat.
Was it still warm?
See where your mind went, Tambourine Boy.
Yeah,
yes,
he went right there.
Under the hat.
He went right there.
Just like, you tall, skinny, fat motherfucker. I know what you're not.
Yeah, I did want to. I had to address the comments because I don't want anybody to come back later,
bitch,
and say that I said something about Elon Musk and it was untrue. So it'll be defamation, I guess, if they want to call it that. But he does have a prescription for some pretty good drugs. And me personally, I want to know how you even get a prescription like that.
I just want him just to stop doing things in general. Just like I want him just to stop doing things in general. He's like everything he's doing is ruining the thing that he is supposed to be doing.
Right.
I just want him just to stop for a while. Just take a break.
I just want to walk up to
everything.
that big jawed motherfucker and ask this question.
Ask him. Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with this nigga? That's your man. That's your man.
Hey, who mans is this? Oh, mans is this?
Oh,
you're welcome.
Okay. Once again, I gotta let them know whose man's this is. It's been so much whose man's this ishness. I don't know if that was a word, but I said it, so I guess it's a sound, if nothing else.
I think the S sound went on too long, and I think it was accurate. It deserved a pause.
Well, guys, I got another First Amendmenter who went into a place and decided to share his opinion. This is Rick, apparently Rick has an issue with the school board, and he went in to talk to him about it. So I just wanted to show this to y'all.
That's the whole school board?
That's...
What is this, Florida?
Look, man, it probably is.
Tuscaloosa.
You push play. When he moves his skull, what is that person wearing on their head?
I don't know.
It looks like a Ragnar Lothbrok.
I'm not sure. It's a grainy video. Maybe they just have a hat on or a funny hairstyle.
Either that or a minion of Satan.
Yeah, or like some Batman impersonator.
I demand answers. I'm concerned.
Well, let's see. Let's see what Rick's concern is.
Concerns. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, let's see what's going on here.
Good evening, cowards. Rick Hubbard, 97 Spruce Lane. Nice to see you. Fat, ugly women. What?
Excuse you.
What?
No.
I'm speaking. They're fat, ugly women is what they are. Let's talk about it. You don't have to buy. It's called free speech. Buy.
That's not free speech. That's insulting.
Okay, everybody, stop. Let Mr. Hubbard.
Oh, that was her hair. It wasn't a hat.
Oh, my God.
Go ahead, Rick.
And we wonder why children are retarded stupid today. We wonder why. We wonder why when we have these pathetic people here called teachers rape the children's mind.
All right, well, I had to stop it there because he goes a little kind of haywire here. But I need just a moment.
Yo,
hold on.
The opening, hello, cowards. What? Homie came in with all guns blazing.
Coming in hot.
He's like, excuse me, but I made sure to check all my chill at the door.
Right.
Yeah, Rick was
he's back, Pentecost.
Pentecost, he's back and he's looking for refunds.
So here's my thing. Do you guys think that when people do this at the school board meetings that they are over exercising their First Amendment, or is this pretty much what we should be able to do?
The bullshit.
Yeah, and I believe that. That's why I'm bringing on the Purge the BS.
It's all fun and games until he starts talking about our culture.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I still think it's just I think it's still abuse of the privilege. I think it's abuse of the privilege. So I think he's creating the bullshit rather than purging it, in my opinion.
Let's just say this. And I guess I'm just going to say this because we're not saying it. But he had a whole point to that. It had something to do with some books that were in the school. And
he had a great point when he said,
"That's a huge bitch."
I just think the way he started it with the insults, it was not going to get the response that he was looking for, which is supposed to be a change, right?
Right.
But if you start with that by saying, "Look at all these fat ass women in here," if there's a lot of fat women in there, you're going to definitely sour the mood a little bit. So,
come on now.
At the end of the day,
be nice.
I don't really know.
He didn't say that. He said there's a bunch of fat, ugly women.
He did.
He emphasized ugly.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then he said something about what they're doing to the children's minds and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, you heard what he said about their minds.
Yeah. And
you heard that.
I don't really.
Which reminds me, I'm hungry.
What?
My bad.
That's crazy.
Wait a minute, wrong show.
Here's my thing. Apparently, there's a lot of people that are sick of the BS. And if we can ever get Rick on the show, Rick,
somebody
if you ever see this,
stopped and immediately with "Excuse me."
Right.
You.
Right. That you know. And then somebody walked out. And she was like, "I'm not walking out," but you were walking out. So where you going? You going to get security to come get Rick? Rick don't look like he cares about security. I'm just being honest. He does
Rick
not
look like he's had a lot of ass whipping.
Right. And given a few.
Probably.
Yeah. He served somewhere. That's what he looked like. He served
He
his
did have that Vietnam look.
Yeah, he did. He did. Like, and then if you bring him to a certain point, he'll be like, "I served in Nam. I used to chew people like you up for breakfast," or something like that. You know,
used to chew people.
Yeah, that looked like it was the highlight of his day, for real, for real. Like he ain't have shit else to do after that.
He went back to being homeless.
There is a TV dinner sitting on a TV stand waiting for him right now, and it's cold.
And a very nice cat.
So you know what? It'd be funny if you walked right out of there and put on a security guard jacket and sat out that side of that door because that was his real job. So he was just upset.
Who should be more offended? The people that were there or him for not getting to say what he wanted to say?
Oh, no, he got to say what he wanted to say. He said that. He said that. That was 40 seconds. Like I said, he took a few minutes of that. Similar to the guy we were talking about the other time.
That is some pretty fucked up shit.
Yes,
You don't really grind my
is.
gears. Can you say what the fuck did I do last night?
No, bad idea. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Well, cheers, Rick. Cheers to Rick for what he does.
Nah.
That's not, what the guy in the back say? That's not freedom of speech. That's offensive.
He said that's abuse.
Yeah, he said it's offensive. He said it's offensive, but is freedom of speech being offensive? Does that stop the freedom of the speech? Because you don't like it?
Stops it.
How?
Because when they wrote about freedom of speech, racism was trending. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
right.
It's
we
still
need to
trending.
we need to roll down by the town square and pick up some winter Negroes.
That's a huge bitch.
I think I'll name him Thaddeus.
Yo.
Yeah.
That is so wrong. So,
Our
it's not
great-grandfather
freedom.
was Thomas Jefferson.
It was freedom of speech, not freedom from offense. Because think about it, there'd be no such thing as verbal assault if there is freedom of speech.
You can
100%.
say whatever you want as a black man in this country at any time. You just had to become strange fruit after you said it.
Exactly.
Oh, say what you want, Negro, but you will die.
So the First Amendment isn't freedom of speech, it's just ability to speak. Like if you can't say it if it offends somebody.
They just put an amendment that says freedom of speech in your own home with the doors and windows closed.
Don't come out on the street with that shit. Well, these guys here are a bad idea of the day, but I do have a very heartwarming question at the end of the clip. I just got to show y'all these gentlemen right here. The police pull up on them, they chill and drink it. All right. Word. Now you got the POV.
Yeah, on the bed of the truck with some beer cans. It's
All right, so y'all get the point.
Yeah.
Y'all get the point.
Those were the ladies at that meeting with Rick.
Jeez.
Yo, all I know is that Mount Human just gave up on life and said he just
like
fell
that.
down. He just fell down and said, "Hit the gas, Guthrie."
Just go. But did you see how the truck wheels was like, oh shit, this big nigga in the
I didn't know he was gonna be back there.
Now,
Yo
here's the
took
thing.
1,000 bumps and he was still in that goddamn bed of that truck.
But here's the thing I want y'all
I'm
to
actually
think about.
impressed.
That dude's blood type was Hellman's.
Let's get into it a little bit. These guys were obviously really good friends because they didn't leave the one guy behind.
No, they slowed down so he could be part of the chase.
Right. And then he was throwing beer cans and stuff like this, the kind of stuff you want to, go talk about later and laugh about if you get away.
I mean,
if not,
is it drinking and driving if they're in the bed of the trunk? It's like the liquor's in the trunk, right?
Yeah. But that brings me to the whole question that brought me to this clip, which is, have we allowed or started to just turn our heads against police doing too much for little shit? Like, it's all good when you stop a murderer, somebody that's doing a school shooting. I'm with all of that. But if some guys are just chilling, having a couple of beers. Obviously not
out in the woods.
Right, out in the woods.
Wait, we don't know. We don't know if that was private property. We don't know if that was
a fuck.
No, we don't know if it was a park where you're not allowed to have alcohol. We don't know.
Nope.
I'm just saying. Okay,
We don't know. You're right. You're right.
Exactly. But the whole thing is that I think they severely overreacted when the boys pulled up.
Why is that? Somebody could have had warrants, man. You don't know what the situation is.
Let's
you don't need to be in public drinking.
Man, you
chilling, man.
Excuse me. The hand is up, okay? Now look. If these were 22-year-old chicks with no shirt on, like cool, let's say bikinis on, cooling, drinking a couple of cold ones. Would you call them the couple of
rose
Zimas?
sodas?
Nah, I'm talking about like, you know what I'm saying? Like some spritzers or some shit, whatever.
Some white zinnies.
Yeah, some white zinnies. They ain't
Yeah, some
stopping
sea
them. If
breezes.
anything, they'll walk up to them and start talking, bring up conversation. These are some fat dudes that weren't hurting nobody.
Right.
Just cooling.
Well, I mean,
they didn't start throwing because no one throws beers.
They were throwing empties.
They were throwing the cans. That was not. They were trying to lessen the weight so they could get away.
Even if they were full, like, bro, nobody throws a full beer.
No, that's alcohol abuse.
Drink.
That's neglect.
But they're just sitting there in the back of a truck. Just a good old boy. Like, sometimes as a police officer, you just have to say, you know what, I got to pick my battles.
Well, that's what the question is. Are they overreacting to the bullshit?
Absolutely.
Because they don't have any other shit. I got another one for you real quick since we on
Like,
the
if I drove up to that, if I was driving through the woods as per usual, like these boys was doing, and if I was just driving through, bro, if I see them, I'm going down the street that way. Like, I'm not, okay, I see what's going on
You're
here.
supposed to beep your horn and just let them know, hey, I see y'all.
You ain't even got to beep your horn. Just say, hey, Bubba, keep on moving.
I never saw the third guy. Was he just waiting to drive away?
No, I think he was just sitting in the truck. Maybe there was no room once they put the fat one in the back, or they needed him to be up front to keep the weight so the truck didn't do one of those.
Whoever was driving the truck,
I'm saying is when they rolled up, it was just Big Boy.
Hey, wait a
and
minute,
it was
you
the other
forgot
dude.
Eugene.
Like the dude was just ready to roll out like off the break.
Yeah, I don't care. That fat guy just leaning back like that, yo. When he just went back, like, all right, I know what this is.
They ain't gonna shake me. They ain't gonna shake me loose.
No,
I ain't going back. Well, anyway, gentlemen, since we're on the topic of the police overreacting to stuff, I had to show y'all the second one real quick because I firmly believe that maybe we should just, I hate to say give them better stuff to do, but it seems like they have an overabundance of time to mess with people for little shit.
They messing with Karen now.
Yeah, so check this one out. All right.
All right, we got a call that somebody was out here feeding the cats and stuff like that. So
I'm trying to trap them.
okay, you have your driver's license with you, man?
Yeah.
Where do you take them once you trap them?
Okay, wait a minute. I got 3. Y'all have 3 cop cars because I'm feeding cats.
No, we always Thank you, ma'am.
You come back, when we catch you out here, you go to jail for criminal trespass third.
This is public property.
City
Public
property. This is
and
city
there's
property.
no, it's public,
Yes, ma'am.
which makes it public.
Yeah, and the city does not want anybody feeding the animals around here because they're becoming a nuisance.
I'm trying to help that nuisance by catching them.
Trespass stands. Just don't be around here trapping them anymore, okay?
Don't be around here trapping you.
All right, you have a good one. What are we doing?
For 939. I'm going to see if I was okay.
Well, man, we told you to leave this area.
I want to chill feeding cats.
Well, for trespassing, we told you to leave and you haven't left.
So nonetheless, that lady went to jail for trespassing.
On city property?
Well, it was a public park, and apparently she had set some traps to trap some stray cats that were out there. And
She got arrested for trapping pussy in public.
Yeah, you can't be out there trapping pussy.
Isn't that always the way?
Right. But here's the thing: if
I remember the last time that happened to me.
if you did that, what do you do when you get to jail and like the person next to you is like, so what are you in for? Is you gonna say trapping pussy? Man, they don't want me trapping pussy in the park no more. You know, that works.
Right.
It's actually a pretty good one.
There you go.
So
I mean, whatever
you,
happened to forgive us our trespasses? Because we forgive those that trespass against us.
The Lord's Prayer. The Lord's Prayer. And here's the thing. I don't know if this woman was a nuisance per se, but why do you have to take a person to jail for that? Like, why don't you just take them off the damn property and just drop them off?
Bring up a good point. And I don't want to be too serious in this episode, but I am going to be. These police do not understand that you are ruining someone's life taking them to jail. They don't understand it. Like, and it's gotten so bad. And this is why I think they're fucking stupid. Police, stupid. They have ruined so many teenagers' lives by taking them to jail for dumb shit that the police academies can't even fill them anymore. Because everybody's record is fucked up because of some dumbass that wants to stop you from fucking trapping a cat or feeding a cat on a public property. You now have a record. You can't join the Air Force. You can't join the Marine. None of this. They can't even, bro, the military can't even take people anymore because of these police fucking people's lives up. That's why I say the DMV is literally the most dangerous 3-letter organization that we have. Because when they fuck up paperwork, some fuck-ass dumb cop comes out of nowhere and some routine traffic stop ends up in a murder or something stupid. When you could have just, that cop could have just minded his business. They don't understand the term policing means keeping things nice. Instead of ruining somebody's life, go have a conversation. Get to know the people.
Let's talk about it, man. You know, I'm gonna be real honest. Since we took a quick trip down Sirius Street, I recently was trying to apply for something, and I had to do a background check. And do you know they brought up a 20-something-year-old charge that I didn't go to jail for nothing. It was like a probation before judgment or something. And it was over 20 years old. That means before I became a dad multiple times, before I became a grandfather, any of those things I've done in the last couple of decades, this thing happened. And somebody literally blanket disqualified me for that thing.
Right.
And that's what you mean. And I'm telling you, I'm a living testimony of that, is because to this day, I'm still talking about, and Brix, you know what? You were there when I got arrested that time, when I got out. And you remember that situation. You know, I still have to answer for that. And we were, what, 18, 19 years old?
Yep.
Exactly. And to this day, it still shows up on my background checks. And I've got my record expunged, and it still shows up. And we're talking ridiculous misdemeanors here. We're not talking no violent crimes, nothing.
The worst part about what I'm saying right now is I'm only saying it because I know good police officers.
Yep. And they don't want to mess with the bad ones because then they can get themselves hurt. They got families too.
But I mean, I don't hang out with them. But at the same time, these are the people, like, you know what? Matter of fact, I can say this, and I can say it on YouTube. There was an Officer Bellman in Howard County. This guy came to our school to talk to the kids, and it just so happened that his family had something to do with the writing of that song, Money, Money, Money. So he was well connected in the music business, kind of, sort of. But he ended up coming to the house. We had all of the whole crew was there rapping and shit. He's up there. They're fucking like, dudes definitely just finished smoking before they came over, so you could smell it and shit. He wasn't interested in none of that. He was there like to, for the music, but he was dropping jewels on everybody.
Right.
But he was getting to know the community. Now people had trust in him, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then whenever somebody was fucking up, if he was in uniform and he came around, we would police each other.
Right.
Yo,
and that's the community and
That's
police
what I'm saying.
relationship.
Like, it
That's how it's
wasn't like
supposed to be.
when he showed up, there was no fear. It was y'all knock that shit off. Calm down.
Right. And that's the thing is, I know a couple of decent police officers. I also know a couple of not decent police officers.
Yeah, we know.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I know both sides of it. I'm like, yeah, some of them all right, but I know some dirty motherfuckers too. And that's interesting to even be able to say, but I know people that's been caught up in litigation type dirty.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like the Baltimore police, I'm gonna stop right there.
The worst.
Before I get myself in trouble. Let's just
they will come down there.
they will take a trip, right? They'll take a trip. They'll take a trip.
I don't know. I know this much. I want to end on this note right here. If you are a police officer and you're watching this show, if you are out there policing, and you're doing it right, good for you. But understand that when you stop somebody on that bullshit, you are ruining someone's life.
Yep.
What you're doing today, so you can meet your quota or whatever you got to do, is going to haunt them for years. So pick your battles.
On the other side of that coin is that I literally was a victim of good policing just recently. I was coming home. It was midnight. I wanted to make it home. I wanted to make it home quickly because I had to do something in the morning.
You were speeding? Okay.
Speeding. I got clocked doing 94.
In a 15.
Yeah.
Fuck the police.
He wasn't just speeding. This nigga was getting
I'm doing 94 in a playground. Like no
flying low to the ground.
But the whole thing is, he pulled me over. I had all my stuff ready, my sirs and all that stuff. He knocked it down to 74. 74 in a 65, which is only $80 ticket. So I'm like, whew.
Damn, that's
good thing you wasn't in VA, boy. That'd have been 2.5.
Yeah, I was about to say, depending on where you at.
Yeah. If I was out of state place, I already know how that go.
You're going to charge me, Your Honor. Hey, how's that butthole?
Oh, no.
This is Virginia. This is a Commonwealth. We govern ourselves, motherfucker.
No, but I'm just saying that was good policing. So sometimes, that person, that officer, he's a good one.
There's a few out there, but the ones
it's a lot. But
if you're not a good cop, we don't like you, because like Brix said, you hold a lot of power in your hands, and they always want to pawn it off on the judges and da. Everybody pawns it off on everybody else. The judges pawn it off on the state's attorneys.
Motherfucker.
Well, I just was being honest.
No, not you. I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Don't these police officers want to stop being talked about like black folk? Oh, he's one of the good ones. Don't worry about it. He's one of the good ones.
No, I see your point,
don't they?
I see your point.
I mean, because that's what's going on. That's the
thing. Police can't police each other because there's a lot of division within that division. Yep. It's like you got certain people on one side, people click up. It's just like any other office job where you get these little groups and you can't go against the supervisors and you know how it goes. It's the same thing. It's just that they got guns
they
on
don't
their
have
side.
guns.
Yeah,
right.
they got guns.
Right.
So shit could get real crazy if they wanted to go that
exactly.
route.
Well, I mean, look,
happy hour. Hell no.
Look, the Baltimore police officers learned a valuable lesson. There's one thing that police officers cannot do, and that is to shoot into an open crowd. They can't. So when Baltimore armed themselves, police officers were backing up and throwing rocks.
But that was a riot. That wasn't the everyday
understand
Baltimore.
that it is a riot, but it was an awakening. The only problem was people just didn't stay awake. Because I did the math. In Baltimore City, right, there's over 600,000 people. You know how many police officers there are in Baltimore?
Probably about 10,000.
3,500. Now divide that by 3 for the different shifts.
Right.
It's about 3,500 police officers policing over 600,000 people. So the problem is, and this is one of them things like when you're a slave and don't know it. If these police officers came into your hood, instead of pulling out your phones and videotape them, pull out guns. See how that goes. They will get back in their cars and they will drive away, in which case they will bring the National Guard in, and the National Guard comes in with no bullets. They have M16, no clip, or M4s, no clip. Or they have a clip, but there's no bullets in it.
So what's the point of that?
Show of force.
Oh.
But if the people understood how much power they have...
We still need the police, though.
Bro, I am not scared of a roach, okay? I'm not scared of a rat, but I'm scared of 10,000 rats.
That is true.
But we still need the police because we need somebody to call.
He's not saying we don't need the police. That's not what I'm saying.
But if we begin running them off, they're less likely to come back.
But it was based on understanding like a show of force. I get what you're saying. I get what
I definitely get that.
Bravo. I get what you're saying when you say they're less likely to come back. But what has always happened historically is there is always a rise of a police force to police when the police aren't there. Like, for example, like everybody shits on pimps, right? But if you look back at pimps in the 60s and the 70s, these are the same people that told the kids stay out of the streets. They give them money to go to school, to stay in school. They pay for their clothes, their books, whatever these kids need, stay out these streets. Somebody will always rise up and police when there are no police. It just happens.
That's true. And that's what the Purge the BS is, man.
To a degree, I agree with that. To a degree, I do agree.
Right. People are, where there is lawlessness will come leadership.
Yep. Yeah, it may not be the best, like in The Walking Dead when you had that dude Deacon or whatever. It may not be the best leadership. It may not be how you want it to go, and it's your choice whether you go with it or not.
True.
But somebody will ultimately police because there has to be some sort of fairness somewhere. But you can't have them boys in that. I mean, the police have literally become a gang. It is what it is.
Well,
they've always been a gang.
I got a new gang for y'all that y'all didn't catch. I don't know. Brix might have caught it. You guys Apple users or Androiders? Okay. For the Apple users, did you hear about Google and Apple getting together and utilizing the same search engines?
No.
So that all of the data ends up being the same between both Android and iPhone? So when you Google search sometimes on an iPhone, you'll see something different than you would see in the same search on an Android phone. Now they're going to synchronize
Bing.
There you go, kind of like that. So they're going to synchronize that searching and that information. So that means the information store will be totally unlocked by Google on both of the major cell phone platforms.
I got one thing to say about that shit.
God can bless a hot mess, amen.
The gods have awakened! I'm very happy to be here! Turn around, ladies, for me, please.
I feel like we're still talking about TikTok right now.
No, we're not. We're bigger than TikTok at this point. But I got to bring you the quote of the day since we're talking about internet, but not even internet, but more or less computers and internet together, technology. We got a Steve Jobs quote today. Now, y'all know who Steve Jobs was. He's not here anymore, but he did say some pretty good things, and he did leave us with the Apple Corporation. So we're all right with that, right?
And
Steve
some pretty
Jobs.
nifty sweaters.
You did what?
I said some pretty nifty sweaters.
He never dressed up for nothing. I never saw him dressed up.
That's the best part about it.
Right.
Yeah, he just came in with his little sweater on and his jeans and his little white sneakers and was like, this is me. And that seems so comfortable to me. I don't know. I think I respected that more than anything else, was that he always seemed like he was relaxed in the environment as opposed to like he was trying to get over.
For us to dress for work now, 2024.
That's a good point. He started the business casual like kind of look. Like
that nigga was wearing jeans and a goddamn polo and some deck shit.
So our quote of the day from Steve Jobs, and this is special for y'all here on Purge of the BS. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your inner voice. Okay? So we're not going to let the noise of people having an opinion drown out that thing within us that says, You can do it. Not the you know what?
You know things. Man,
I'm trying to deliver powerful motivational messages to the people.
Nah, I feel you. I feel you.
But yeah, man, and that's why I gotta address anybody. If you have a negative thing to say,
You ain't gonna undress me, nigga.
No, address, okay? Yeah, and I wasn't addressing you. I was addressing anybody that might have negative opinions. Well, we do have to go. So for anybody, all our new subscribers, everybody that's tuned in, thank y'all for coming around for another Purge the BS. Join us in the comments. Let us know how you think. Don't forget to share, bang the bell, and we'll be back for another one next time. That's all.
Always agree with Sonny in the comments.
And that, my friends, is the bullshit. I know it's late and it's probably nobody here right now, but that's fine. Because it is the end of 321, so we're going to take this out just right. We got 1 hour left before the end of the night. Happy Purge Day to those that have been tuned in and out for the last few hours. Thank y'all very much for your support. We are very close to our goal of hitting 5K tonight. So let's make sure that if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button when you come on in here. Second here, adjusting the mics here. I got adjustments. Make sure y'all can hear me. Get a thumbs up in the chat over here. We're gonna get started with an actual late night Purge of the BS because I had a pretty crazy day and I kind of wanted to cover something with y'all. This is really heavy on my heart right now. So I know it's been a fun one. But I need to figure out why my transition's not working. Since y'all are here, and there's only a couple of folks right now. I got a minute to figure this out. See if it works. I don't know. Anyway, let me go ahead and get started with this Purge of the BS since we are here. For those that are here, thank you for stopping in. We'll get right into some craziness. Let's see what we got here. Alright, I like that. Let's see if this is some BS. So before we get started with this, I gotta do what I gotta do. I gotta pay homage by playing our disclaimer. So for those who don't know, please stand by.
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of another Purge of the BS, sanctioned by the First Amendment. Frustration level 0 to 100 have been authorized for use during this purge. All weapons are restricted. Government officials have not been granted immunity from the Purge of the BS and shall undoubtedly receive the smoke. Commencing at the sound of the gong, any and all BS, especially unnecessary goofiness, will be purged without consequence. Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be available, but they will be busy because they will be watching the Purge of the BS. Blessed be those who have already been victims of some BS. May God be with you all.
Here. I should restart the stream so it does the thing again. Let's see, I could do that. Let's see, we got 7 folks on here. I could restart the stream. I don't know. I'm gonna give it 1 second here to see if the algo's still moving to give folks a chance to come in because we normally don't do a purge of the BS at this time of night, but it is a very special day
because the purge, as you know, started on 3-2-1, and so it's 3-2-1. So we have to, pay respects to how far we've come. And the goal is to hit 5K tonight. So I'm gonna dedicate this time, and it's gonna be tough. And I might have to restart the stream. I'm not sure. I'm gonna find out in a second. We'll see what it's gonna be. All right. But for those who are brand new to the show, what we do here is we purge the BS. Some situations are good situations, bad situations. We go through them. We purge the BS. We find out what's good to know, what's the goofiness, what's the cinematography, and then we go from there. All right? So anybody that's new, make sure you hit the subscribe button, jump in the chat, give me a thumbs up in the chat, let me know you're here. And I will do my best to see the chats, because sometimes it starts moving pretty quick, so don't personally hold me to that. But before we get started, because there was this topic I wanted to cover the other day, and it was a little too deep, no pun intended, but it was a little too deep for the folks at the time, right? So I wanted to actually cover it today, because it doesn't matter what I cover tonight, because this was an unscheduled show, and I'm still going to be back tomorrow morning for the Saturday show. We're going to do Saturday thing. But tonight is just me having some fun. We're going to try to see if we can hit this 5K tonight. We're at like 49 something. I have to look at it. It was 49 something. But we want to hit the 5K tonight. So if you haven't done so already, if you're in the chat, share the live with somebody who's not already a subscriber, as well as anybody that you know who already gets down with us like that here at Purge of the BS. So guys, this story I want to bring to you, it's interesting. It's for my nerds. I'm going to let the nerds have it for a hot second, because, some stuff is interesting to me. And they brought a story to me the other day about the pyramids of Giza. Now, for those that don't know about the pyramids of Giza, this is like, some ancient Egyptian shit that they were digging in, apparently, pause, and they said that he found some structures beneath it. So I don't know if it's bullshit or not. I don't at this point. I'm going to do some more research, but I wanted y'all to at least hear the story if you hadn't heard it, because it is pretty interesting. So give me a second here. Let's see what we got. All right, so this guy's going to talk about it. We're going to listen to it, and then we're going to quickly discuss it for anybody that is in the chat. Okay.
I am struggling to express in words just how significant of a discovery this is. What has just been announced in relation to the pyramids at the Giza Plateau and the plateau itself is so incredible, so awe-inspiring and narrative-shattering that I have been sitting here for the last hour trying to wrap my head around the implications of what we were just told. So this is pretty much breaking news, because the new findings were announced on the 16th of March at a press conference held by the team who were studying the Great Pyramid of Giza with a non-invasive technology that was first developed by Filippo Bionde and Corrado Malanga, called synthetic aperture radar Doppler tomography. So this was used to explore the internal structure of the Great Pyramid of Giza. And this method leverages the analysis of micro movements typically generated by background seismic activity to achieve a high resolution full 3D tomographic imagery of the pyramid's interior and subsurface components. The recent findings from deploying this technology are nothing short of mind-blowing, because what's been discovered is that there are huge structures coming down from the base of the pyramid deep into the bedrock, in fact over 600 meters deep, which then connects to structures that extend up to 2 kilometers below the surface of the ground. 2 kilometers. Massive internal structures connected to the base of the pyramid and extending deep, deep down. This is what we know so far. Utilizing high-resolution radar images from Chapelle Space and Umbra, which are 2 private companies that specialize in satellite-based synthetic aperture radar imaging. This has allowed researchers to create a 3D model of the internal structure of the Great Pyramid of Giza. Now, this model has revealed a previously unknown chamber with 5 horizontal levels and a sloping roof, which in of itself is an architectural design unlike any previously documented in the Giza Pyramid. But the most shocking discovery lies beneath the surface. Below ground level, radar tomography has identified vertical cylindrical structures extending for hundreds of meters beneath the pyramid. There are 8 of these cylindrical wells arranged in 2 parallel rows, descending to an astonishing depth of 648 meters. Even more intriguing, at the base of these structures are 2 massive cubic formations measuring approximately 80 meters.
All right, I'm going to pause that real quick for anybody that is here. If this guy's bullshitting, he's a really good actor, or somebody has given him some information that he truly, truly believes. He does not seem to be wavering in this opinion and how he feels here. So I got to give him that. Because even though I don't know exactly what he's talking about, he sounds like he knows what he's talking about, and he definitely sounds like he believes it. That could be good, that could be bad, but it's what's making me listen to him, because it sounds like he knows what the hell he's talking about, and it also sounds like he believes it. So, I guess to some degree, what do we care if there's some huge structures under the pyramids? I don't know. It's just some interesting shit, so that's why I'm bringing it up. I don't think it really will change like humanity and other than saying, oh, they built more than we thought they did before we got here that we still can't explain. But like I said, it was an interesting story. So I'm not really sure what the end game is, but this guy's really putting on the show. So if this ain't real, it might be some bullshit, but it definitely sounds like he believes it.
In diameter, the tomographic data suggests that these are vertical wells with intricate spiral pathways. Now, this design not only implies a functional purpose, but also a level of sophisticated engineering that completely blows the dynastic Egyptian model out of the water. I mean, the pyramid itself was already a massive red flag in the ancient Egyptian historical narrative. But now, with this discovery, I think it's become impossible to say that the Egyptian civilizations that we understand, that we've been taught about, were responsible for building these structures. And it doesn't even end there. The radar analysis extends beneath the entire Giza plateau, revealing interconnected structures beneath not only the Great Pyramid of Giza, but also those of Khufu and Menkaure. The subsurface network reaches down to a staggering depth of approximately 2 kilometers. 2 kilometers. This is not possible, given the standard historical and archaeological narrative given to us about ancient Egypt. Now, I'm hearing that there is more to come. There is a 4-hour presentation that's going to be released by the research team. This is what I'm hearing. That's going to go into every detail of their findings. This has essentially been a strategic release of incredible data ahead of time to get people interested. And I am more interested in this than basically anything else right now, because this is by far the most provocative piece of evidence for not only a potential technological explanation for the purpose of the Giza complex, but it also provides the most extraordinary evidence for a pre-flood era civilization that was flourishing in a way that we can scarcely comprehend. It's also possible that this spiraling cylindrical series of structures are staircases, and I can't help but think of the channeled writings of Thoth the Atlantean, you know, the Emerald Tablets, speaking of a lost hall of records, a sacred hall of knowledge below the Giza Plateau, the halls of Amenti. Could this be the lost hall of records from the pre-flood era? Now, obviously, this discovery is extremely controversial. It runs as a complete contradiction of the established narratives and status quo in mainstream academia on these issues. This will cause big waves throughout the academic and the wider world if they can fully evidence these findings. But the results so far seem pretty clear. There is obviously significant structural engineering taking place deep below the pyramids and the Giza Plateau in general. Has this changed your mind on the pyramids? Has this strengthened your position on what they might have been? Has this new discovery given you any new ideas about what the implications are Let me know in the comment section below. And honestly, everyone, share this far and wide. This is such interesting stuff. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll just have to see where this goes, because rest assured, I'll be keeping a very close eye on any coming announcements and updates on this issue. This plays directly into one of my main interests, which is, of course, prehistorical civilizational implications. What was going on before the global cataclysm? Well, I think moments like this could shed light on that question.
All right, well, that's interesting. I'll tell you what. Here's the question for anybody that's still here in the chat. I'm going to let you guys make the choice here. Should I restart the live stream so that the algorithm can move quicker? I could put a link to a new live right into the chat of this one as I started. I'm pretty good at stuff like that. Or I can end this one and have it redirect to the other one. But I wanted to get to moving. I wanted to get to moving. Thank you, Frankie Boy, for jumping in there. I didn't know about the story. That's why if it's old news, it was new news to me. But the thing, I guess, which was most impressive to me was the fact that there was any additional structuring going on down there. So if that is true, that's great. If not, you know, like I said, at the end of the day, it doesn't really change the price of tea in China, but it was an interesting story. So what do you guys think in the chat? Should I restart the live stream and then you guys will just be able to join it right from this chat and it'll get the algorithm to move with a little freshness to it? Now, granted, if we got to agree to that, and the reason why is because it won't move quickly if nobody's there, if that makes sense. So I don't want to stop this and start that, and then all of a sudden it takes another 35, 45 minutes before it really starts sending people out. I got a couple of things I want to cover before it gets super dumbass late, and I want to do that. So, but yeah, it's an interesting story. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Should I restart the live, which will take me approximately 30 seconds or so? Or should we just keep going with this one? What you think? Do we think we have enough faith in the current algorithm to push it past 10 viewers right now on a shorts feed that's only got 1,000 views in 2 hours? I don't like that feed. That's a shitty feed. You know what? I'm going to make the choice because I know I understand this algo a little bit. We're going to do another live. Give me 1 second. I'm going to set it up. I'll put the link in there, and then we're going to just redirect and jump right over there. So if you stay on here, I'll be able to redirect you to the fresh live, okay? Just hold on 1 second. Give me a hot second here. What time is it? 19. And the live we're going to get into is a guy received some pretty bad news. Sorry, guys. It's a manual process here. I need to get it going here. So let's go this route. Change this up. Pull this guy over. Bow. And then that's going to be, what time is it? 11:20? All right. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Y'all have to be on this. We're going to go 25, 11:25. Hold on. I'm still doing something here, but thank you for your patience. 11:25. And I'm going to take that one. Let's see if it lets me do it here. Hold on. Share it. Copy that. Go back. This one. All right, guys, I'm putting the link in this chat right here. And I'm going to try to do a redirect if it'll let me do it. And we're going to go to the next. We're going to go to the new. We're going to go to a new live link. It's going to be the same feed. It's just going to be a new live link. So you should see the link in the chat there. I'm in the stream. It's going to take you directly to it, okay? Just hold on 1 second. And thank y'all for joining in. I'm sorry I had to do that to you, but the way this thing goes is it'll die out. It's kind of like it's hot for a second and it dies out. So we're going to go ahead and jump on over for those that don't know how to do all that kind of stuff I just showed you. Check this out. Let's see if it'll catch the same